to Asylum Radio with your host, Annabelle Mendoza.
All right, welcome to Asylum Radio. So this is episode 1. So I have today one of my really good friends, Irvin Delgado.
Hey, how's it going?
What's going on, bro? How you been?
Pretty good, actually. Just, working, same stuff as usual. Nothing too new.
Nothing too new. So what do you think of the studio, man?
It's still under construction, but
Definitely.
it seems it's coming along quite nicely. So
It's definitely a work in progress. Like, if you guys notice, there's like a giant rack of shit that's just right behind Irvin.
it's like the arts and crafts.
It really is all my arts and crafts. Like, I've been meaning to put all that away. I'm going to build a desk for it, but you know how it goes. You build one thing, then you stop, then you build another. Or maybe that's just me. I have like fucking a disease of some kind. I forget what it's called.
Well, I mean, you started working on cosplay stuff, didn't you?
I did. And then shenanigans happened. So then I started working on this podcast studio and now we have it. Yay.
It's good. I mean, it's coming along nicely.
Yeah, man. It took a minute. It took like a solid year to get it together. So
Yeah.
somewhere around there, like 6 to 8 months.
Well, I'm sure part of it was like getting the freaking table. That probably took a while because for whatever reason, furniture is like on a 12-month embargo.
Yeah. So this table is a transformer table from Canada.
Oh,
It took 3 months from the moment I ordered it to the moment I got it. So I don't know what was going on. Something about COVID and the restrictions. I don't know.
no, it's like that with any furniture. Like, I went and will buy a couch, and they told me like, okay, yeah, you're gonna pay full price for this couch right now, but you're not gonna have it for like a month and a half because it takes that long to deliver.
Yeah, dude, that's bullshit. I don't know.
And so yeah, but
So let me introduce everybody else to you and who you are.
Okay.
When did I meet you?
that is a good question.
Was
'cause
that
it
middle school or was that high school?
No, I think it was elementary school back at the Boys and Girls Club.
Was it?
Yeah, that far back.
I know I knew
I
Sam.
think, is it really? I think we might be going on like 20 years.
Because I knew Sam in middle school.
Yeah.
I knew Larry.
And for those of you who haven't guessed, those are our friends that we have in common with.
Yeah. So those are like in common friends. But I don't know why. I can't remember the specific moment I met you, but I do remember
Yeah.
knowing you a lot better in high school.
Yeah, no, we did know each other a lot better in high school. Like, I think in elementary school, you mainly just knew me as Sam's friend. Because Sam, I met him in 96 because that's when he moved in across the street from me.
Damn. So that's a long time.
Yeah, that's a long time. And
So I want to say if it's 20 plus years, it's kind of bad of me for not being able to remember why I can't remember when it was I met you, but I do remember when I started to actually become your friend. So
yeah.
this was what I was talking to Sam, Brian, and then you were always around them too. So I bumped into you. I was like, who is this weirdo with the long hair?
Oh yeah, back then I had long hair and a trench coat.
Yeah.
Which I mean, considering the time was not the best look.
I specifically remember this moment that was the moment I'm like, this guy is weird, but he's kind of cool. You guys did the Jackass, what is it?
Oh, okay. Yes.
It was the item finding thing. What was it?
The scavenger hunt.
The scavenger hunt.
Yes, I arranged the scavenger hunt.
Yes.
That was
You
oh my
fucking
God, yeah.
savage.
A lot of people got in
I
trouble.
vaguely remember writing in was it a trash can or like we had to throw somebody in a trash
I had
can?
to throw someone in the trash can and ride him down a hill.
Like,
So it was just like a bunch of really terrible ideas that I put together, and people were like way too willing to actually go forth and do them, which is
especially Brian. Brian was our friend Brian. If you guys don't know him, he is he probably could have made it in Jackass, to be honest,
Him and
especially in high school.
him and our other friend Jonathan, those two were always up to like a bunch of wacky shenanigans.
They're a bunch of idiots, but we love them. We love them. We love them. I really do. Like I even have a video of me and Jonathan going on his drift day event. It was actually pretty fun. You guys should check that video out, by the way.
The funny thing is, one of my friends actually landed in a lot of trouble. They actually got arrested because of that
Wait,
scavenger
they
hunt.
got arrested for the scavenger hunt?
Got arrested
But
for the
isn't that
scavenger
after
hunt.
school?
It's after school. That's why it wasn't. It didn't have anything to do with the school. The school didn't arrest him, but he got arrested.
Oh, so he got caught like, unrelated. Oh, okay.
Unrelated.
What the fuck did he do? What'd you guys do?
I don't remember exactly which of the stunts he was doing,
Mhm.
but two girls reported him. I'm not gonna say who it is, obviously.
Well, don't drop names because we'll find them and we'll definitely remind them of what the fuck just happened.
But no, they were doing a stunt. Two girls got scared. They called the police. He got arrested. And the funny thing is, like, they were questioning me, but they couldn't do anything because if you remember, I made everyone sign the waiver saying that you're voluntarily doing this. It's a terrible idea, and can't be held responsible for your actions.
I do vaguely remember that, but I kept thinking to myself, can he possibly take this to court? Because he scribbled this on a piece of fucking paper with grease on it. Like, what the fuck? Like, is this really a legal document?
It was actually printed, and yes, it did count as a legal document.
Shit, I guess.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I didn't share any fault in the whole thing, because like his mom was pushing real hard to get me arrested too, but they were like, no, he can't get arrested because, like it says on this paper, your son is not required to do these stunts.
But Irvin, did he die?
I don't know. No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. Of course not. Of course not. He was probably fine.
No, he was fine. It's just, it's funny because like
there's probably some kid out there sharpening a fucking knife and just looking at a picture of you like, you ruined my life, Irvin. I'm gonna find you.
Actually, that's a funny thing is that
someone actually did that.
No, he didn't do not that somebody did. I'm sure there's somebody out there who's with a knife, like just wishing I wasn't alive, but probably some ex out there.
Hey,
yeah.
Well, if someone's gonna die from an ex, it's probably gonna be me.
Probably.
It's probably gonna be me.
Doubt it.
Yeah, I love crazy ladies. I don't know why. It's a turn on.
No, but the same guy that got arrested is actually going to school. He has a scholarship. I mean, not a scholarship, but he has a fund, like a multi-million-dollar fund to study, to work and study, and what he's actually going to school for.
What's that?
Oh, he told me and I forgot. It's something with psychology.
He's like telling you how he's got this multi-million-dollar fund, and Irvin's over here like, huh? What? Yeah, I don't care.
No, I space out a lot. It's not that I don't care. It's just like I'm always doing like 100 things at once.
What if the fund was him saying like, hey, I have this organization based around dumbass kids who go on scavenger hunts and almost get arrested. I'm creating this bail bond system for you guys. What do you think, Irvin? You inspired this, huh? What? Yeah, sure.
No, it's something that has to do with psychology. I remember that much because he's going into like counseling and crisis counseling.
Oh shit.
So it has to do with that.
So it's pretty serious.
Yes.
Ah, gotcha. So that was my first actual memory of you. Then after that, of course, high school is a fucking blur. But
well, it's because we were all over the place in high school. Like, I mean, we weren't really the type of kids that were like
popular, normal, accepted.
We were. Yes, that's actually
that's exactly what the fuck we were. We were the outcasts.
We weren't popular, but
we were not cool.
Like
we weren't the jocks and we weren't the cheerleaders. No, we were the kids that you said what's up to because you happen to find out they like anime.
Yeah, and
then that was like that made one or two friends at most.
I had a few friends, but that's only because like I was the president of the anime club, so people
that was something I wanted to bring up. I remember you walking around campus and I was like, hey, there's Sam's friend Irvin handing out flyers.
Yeah.
What the fuck is he doing? So I walked up to you and I was like, hey man, what's up? You're like, hey, well, here, and then walked away. And I was like, what the fuck? Okay. So I look at it and it's this fucking shoddily printed flyer for the anime club after school, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
There's other people here at my school that like anime.
and it surprisingly worked because you remember how many people were crammed into that one classroom.
I actually really was. I was like, holy fuck, there's this
Like-
many people at our school that actually know what anime is. I'm
Yeah.
like, and they all don't look like weebs. Well, nowadays that term is a different term, but now, like back
Yeah.
then,
no,
it was
back
like
then it was different. So
yeah.
it's not like it was right now. Like right now, it's perfectly like acceptable to like
it's
anime.
cool to like anime, man. Like I don't think I never thought I'd live to see the day when people were okay with the fact you going, yeah, man, did you watch My Hero Academia? Did you watch Attack on Titans? Did you watch? And people are like, yeah, man, I watched it on Netflix the other night. It was pretty fucking awesome. And it's just some regular Joe who fits your stereotype of an average person.
Yeah.
Back then, if you watched anime, it was like telling someone that you're a fucking nerd. Like
It
big time.
No, it really was. Yeah, that's because like the culture was so different. Like I think the internet, once the internet started getting a lot more traction, everything changed. But back then, like you told somebody, I mean, it's not something you would openly admit on a date. Like,
Yeah, I
you
tried
wouldn't-
that.
Yeah, you wouldn't go on a date and be like, "Oh, what are you into?" "Oh, I'm into like anime and Pokemon cards." And oh yeah,
You try to bring it up. Like, you're like, so what's your stance on this? Oh, my little brother collects them. He's a fucking idiot. And you're like, oh, yeah,
Oh,
I don't know about all
I
that.
don't have any Pokemon cards.
No, wasn't going to show you my Charizard.
No, but it's funny because one of the things I remember is back when like stores would actually demo games.
Yes, I do.
So I remember thinking it was the coolest thing ever because I was probably like about 14, or no, I was a little bit older. I thought
He's like, I was like 17.
no,
And,
no, not that old. But no, so I was at Sam's Club, and they
Okay.
had the Spider-Man video game on the PlayStation 2 out to demo. And
I don't, that doesn't ring a bell. But yeah, continue.
so I was playing the Spider-Man, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, the terrible one. I'm gonna get some death threats, but I don't care.
Yeah. So hit or miss.
Tom Holland, best Spider-Man ever. Come fight me.
Yeah, to each their own, I guess.
But anyway, so it's that aside. So it was a Spider-Man game, and I was like,
Mhm.
oh well, my mom's shopping on board. Might as well play this.
Mhm.
And this one chick about my age walked up, and she was like, "Oh," I was like, "Do you mind if I play?" And I was like, "Oh shit." I don't know how to. Yeah, I was like,
a girl likes
I was
video
like,
games.
a girl that likes video games. But yeah, I was like, oh, I don't know how to. I had no social skills, so I was like, how do I talk to this person? Yeah, here's a controller. And then she was like trying to figure out the game, and she's like, oh, I don't know how to play this stupid thing. My little brother just plays it.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, I thought, yeah. So I was sitting there, I was thinking like, oh shit, here comes a chick. I finally have a chance to talk to somebody. And no.
she was just bored trying to fill in some time at Sam's
Exactly.
Club.
I'm sure
That's a downer.
yeah, her parents were probably just shopping as well. And she was like, I'm freaking bored in this guy.
Bro, so I'm a fast forward a little bit. After I got introduced to you and I found out you're actually like not a murderer and gonna shoot up the entire school, I thought you were actually pretty cool, man. So I started going to the anime club, and what was the teacher's name who hosted it after school?
So there was two.
There was a guy who was
There was
particularly
a guy.
cool.
I don't exactly remember his name.
Mm,
That's a good question.
I
feel like Sam would know this.
he looks like in my head, my memory's so awful because I suppressed high school like many of us. That he reminds me of the Chimera Doctor from Fullmetal Alchemist in my head. Glasses, white guy, gold hair.
I could see that. I mean,
What was that teacher's name, man?
I don't remember, but I remember a bunch of the girls had a crush on him. That's one thing.
Actually, I do remember that too.
Yeah, like
I do remember that.
Like a bunch.
I was
of the
like,
girls.
wait, I think thinking of it now, right? Like you're 15, 16. He was like, what, 28, 26, 27?
I think he was like in his 30s.
Really?
Actually,
He looked good
he
for
was.
30.
No, he did. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this is a good-looking dude. But
Yeah.
I just remember like every single girl. That's probably why a bunch of chicks showed up. It wasn't about the anime.
You think? I'm
I don't think it was about the anime. I think it was just this dude
Just the hot guy teacher.
The hot teacher was like, okay.
But he was a nerd. I remember he was like, he's like, oh, you guys
yes.
are gonna show this next week? Oh, cool, for sure. I'll make sure to be here.
No,
I was like, what the fuck?
I freaking love that dude. It's sad that I can't remember his name.
Right. Okay. Right now, if this ever blows up at our old high school, A.B. Miller, like that teacher, thank you for being fucking awesome and allowing us to host.
Even though we don't remember your fucking name.
We don't remember your fucking name, but we remember you.
Yeah.
We remember your fucking kindness 30 years later, 20 years later, however the fuck it is. I didn't pass math, if you can tell.
No, but I remember like he would bring up like Macross and like what else was it? He would bring up like all this really old like 1970s and 80s anime.
I do remember that. And I was like, wait, how is this on a fucking DVD? I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, like he would even bring stuff for us to watch, but like he just said he just decided not to because the classroom was too crowded and he couldn't deal with it.
That's true. And then he kind of stopped showing up towards the end of the year. He stopped showing up.
Yeah, like towards the end of the year, he would just show up to open the door and then
he would just go home.
Go away.
Just go home.
And then he would be like, "Oh, can you?"
And then there was a bunch of and I specifically remember what we had to sign permission slips to watch
Helsing.
No,
or there's a few.
Elfin Lied.
Elfin Lied. Was one.
Why? Because there was titties.
Yeah.
Right. So we were all like, wait, I remember asking you, Irvin, why do we need to sign a permission slip to watch anime? And your specific words were, and you leaned in super close and you're like, titties.
100%. Yeah, it was because of that.
And I was like, wait, so we're watching porn? And he's like, no, there's just titties in the anime. I was like, well, shit, I can watch titties anime at home. And he's like, no, they don't wear bra, they're naked. I was like, oh, okay, cool, fuck it, I'll sign it. And I just signed my mom's name. Like, you literally gave it to me. I got home, I signed my mom's name and gave it back to you the next day.
The funny thing is I think I even put in this permission slip saying that it's going to be rated TVMA. And then I put the reasons why. And put like extreme graphic violence. And then like I listed extreme graphic violence, use of tobacco and alcohol.
And nudity.
Nudity was definitely the last one. And surprisingly, we did have like a big chunk that didn't show up that day.
I do remember that. It was just like, what, like 7 of us?
No, it was more. But I mean, we used to have like 90 people consistently. But whenever we would show like the more mature animes that required a permission slip, we would have like maybe 20, 15.
Yeah.
15, 20.
I remember there was a lot less people.
Yeah.
Because I could actually find a seat at the front of the class, which is like, I'd always show up fucking late because I was always talking to fucking people saying bye, not knowing that I'm like, oh yeah, we're fucking the next episode, everybody's going to fucking be at the front of the class. So I was like, all right, whatever.
Yeah. But no, like,
to be honest and to be fair to that anime, the titties weren't even that good.
No,
the anime was so much better than the nudity.
Yes.
So if you guys haven't seen Elfin Lied, watch it. It's actually really good. It's kind of old, but it's good.
It's freaking gory as hell. So if you like gore, that's
compared to today's standard, it's actually kind of mild.
Like it is, yeah. Like if you compare it to like I want to say Demon Slayer.
No. There's so many anime that like way gory.
Corpse Party. Corpse Party was a lot bloodier than this.
Corpse Party.
Yes.
I
want to.
There's still more, man. Like I can't remember the name of the anime, but it's demons. They hit the plane.
Devilman Crybaby.
That one. Oh, that one was good.
That one was good, but that one was fucking a lot gorier than that.
Yeah. The nightclub scene.
Yeah.
The nightclub scene was fucking dope. If you guys haven't seen Devil May Cry, like
watch it.
Like the Crybaby. Yeah, it was so good.
It's a fucking crazy show.
I remember watching it and going like, wait, this Devilman does he have a nightclub scene? And I specifically remember that was not a thing, at least not in the original one, right? Like that like, because Devilman is old. Like he's like Astro Boy old, right? Let's find out.
I'm not sure, but yeah, I think the original manga is kind of old, but I don't know necessarily. I know the Netflix show just came out a couple years ago.
I know that. Oh yeah, he's fucking old, man. The original anime was released in 1973. That's how he's Astro Boy old.
Man, actually, Astro Boy came out I think like in the 60s or the 50s.
Yeah, but he's like
Yeah,
he's
he's around
up
there.
there. He's definitely up there in age with like the release. But I enjoyed it. I think my favorite time at anime club was when we did that field trip to Anime Expo. I don't remember what fucking year it was. I don't know if it was like 2007, 6.
I think it was 2006.
Was it 2006? Bro,
Yeah, it was a long. I want to say it might even be like 2000.
was it
a long time
5?
ago.
I think it might have been
I
5
think it might have been 5.
cuz I think it was 5. But anywho, I remember you were telling me about the stupidest shit about how people were really weird. Like, I didn't believe you. Like, I was like, no way. There's nobody weirder than us, bro. Like, we are the bottom of the fucking barrel.
I see. That's what I thought. But then, like, you run into people, and like, I don't like.
Don't get me wrong. I say weird in the fucking kindest way.
Yeah,
But
like, I don't like talking bad about people because, like, I mean, be you. You know, be like who you are. If you want to.
okay, the way I say weird is, I mean, there are people way more into the things that I'm into than I am into them. They
Yeah,
are
like-
into it like if there was fuck, what was it? The Power Rangers panel that showed up at that anime expo was bananas. I remember seeing like dudes my age now wearing like a full blown ranger suit, carrying a boxed ranger to get signed at the panel.
Oh yeah.
I was like, nowadays that seems fucking normal, but to me in high school, I was like, these guys are fucking strange.
Well, yeah, because that was like the real thing. These are like the real fans. So
I really didn't
us-
understand the concept of cosplay back then, because cosplay back then was like bad. It wasn't that good, to be honest.
Well, it wasn't that mainstream either. I mean,
It really
back
wasn't.
then-
Like the cosplay technology has gotten a lot better.
not just cosplay. I mean, these artists have figured out like certain skills and crafts that would make like the outfits actually look really good. You know, we don't have like
Dude, they make specific cosplay foam now. Before you didn't have that.
No,
You
you
had
had to-
like find a foam. And actually I don't even think foam was a thing till like after we graduated high school. I think before you would have to like find a way to make shit out of like
they were making
clay.
stuff out of cardboard. I remember one guy had like cardboard and freaking modeling clay. One guy
Yeah.
had paper mache.
some of it looked janky.
Some of
and
it
then
was
you could-
wood.
Yeah, dude. Oh
was-
man, that reminds me. Back then you can bring weapons, like
Yeah, back then
legitimate
you were able to
weapons, like a
bring, wooden
blade.
weapons and stuff. And like if you brought an actual sword, the only thing they would require is to tag it.
Dude,
keep
that
it closed.
how wild is that? That
It's
back
freaking insane.
back in what 2004, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I think not until like 2011 was like the first real incident. Or no, I want to say like 2008 or 7 there was an incident. But I want to say you could bring a full blown like sword with an edge on it, and they just assumed you weren't going to murder somebody.
Remember that there was a guy who brought in like an actual live gun. And the only thing they had him do is they had him zip tie the trigger so that he could
Yes.
so that
I
he
do-
couldn't shoot it.
I think I remember something about someone was saying that, and I was like, "No, how do you even get a gun?" I was
And
like, but
no,
then
like
child.
yeah, this guy was dressed as I think he was dressed like a Solid Snake, and he had like an actual real pistol. And the only thing they did was they made him make sure that it wasn't loaded.
That man's a fucking legend.
Yeah, and then they made him, zip tie it so that he couldn't fire it.
That's fucking bananas, bro.
Yeah, like I don't remember exactly how they zip tied it, but I remember that it was zip tied.
I know that back those days, kids now don't understand how wild it was at conventions. Like you could honestly get away with just about anything, from doing coke to slapping somebody with a wooden paddle. Like, do you remember the Yowie paddles?
Oh my god, yes!
Dude.
And that was like the actual
Like it was a
pedals
fucking
too. Like
it was
the-
a giant wooden paddle that you would just go around hitting other people with, and they were okay with it because it was a fucking thing.
and then that was the actual like people on the
Yes.
actual panels too. That would be
Yes.
like, okay,
Who wants to get
come up
Yowie
and-
paddled over here?
who
Yeah,
wants to
let's
get
fucking.
spanked? Like it was a thing.
I want to see. Can we find video of
Oh,
people
I'm
getting
pretty sure we
Yowie
could.
paddled? Oh my god,
And
let's
then-
find out.
Remember, they used to allow signs
what was it? Moshing. It was when you ran up to somebody and like totally hugged them.
Glump. It was glumping.
Was it glumping?
Yes, it was glumping.
Oh.
I was just thinking about what the term was.
I know it was
I
something
remember-
odd.
Yeah, that was. Oh my god, that was freaking crazy. It was another time, to say the least.
Dude. Oh my God. There's people who know.
Yaoi pedals.
Oh my
Should
God.
have
There's
been illegal. Yes.
dude. Oh my God.
Remember when one of those creeps would go up to to those girls and like, because you would get those creeps that would go up to these girls and say something sexual, and
Oh yeah, man.
you would hear them practically break that pedal on this dude.
Oh, dude.
Like-
Yeah, there was a lot more guys. They were asking girls to hit them. I did notice that. There was a
Yeah.
lot less girls asking to get hit.
I feel like if that was allowed or acceptable today, it would be the other way around. Because I think like,
You think so?
because I feel like women have reached this point where they're so empowering and they're so like they're so okay with themselves that they say, no, you're not a weirdo or you're not strange because you like being spanked, or stuff like that. Like there's
I get what you're saying. There's a lot more people in the BDSM community who
not necessarily. Well, I mean, yes, that is
that
true.
is a fucking
But I don't
yeah.
necessarily mean like BDSM. I just mean like
in
it's more-
general.
it's more acceptable. Like before, like back in our day, if you would
Oh my
see
gosh.
like some chick getting spanked, that would be like,
Here's
okay,
a perfect example of this GIF right here. Let me see if it'll open up without hopefully causing too much issue. No, it took me to, what is this? Tumblr? How is this website still alive? What are you doing, Tumblr? Oh, there it is. Let's see if we can get this to open without being completely horseshit.
no, but
Oh my,
oh,
yeah,
that's
nothing.
weak.
No,
weak.
that's
there was, like,
nothing. I've seen people get fucking railed with one of these. It is so, dude, the crack that thing would make.
oh my
Like
god,
you
it
would be
was
having a
like-
conversation in the expo inside the exhibition hall, and then you just hear the thunder, just
and you'd be like, oh, someone else got
someone just got smacked, bro. Them cheeks were red, and then if it was someone who asked for it but wasn't expecting it to be hard, you heard like a scream after it, like a whimper, and everybody would know, and everybody wouldn't care. No one batted an eyelash, which was
that was
such a different time, bro.
it's insane what was acceptable back then.
These kids don't understand how. Okay, back then we didn't know how good we had it. Like if we had what we have back then now, we'd fucking love it. But how cons are now, how they're overly regulated, they're super cramped. Like you can't look at anybody without anybody freaking out. Like it back then, it was so it was
a
so much
different
better.
time.
It was
Like,
better. I
yeah.
want to say it was better, but at the same time, I also want to say it's nice seeing that things are mainstream.
It is nice seeing that. I think that's why they also became mainstream, because it became more welcoming.
Yeah, that too.
But you also got to remember, whenever things start getting more popular, you start also it attracts like
People who ruin it.
yes, it attracts people who ruin it. It attracts those bad apples, and that's kind of what changes all these. Because like for the weapons,
Honestly,
Like-
I have to say it would probably happen with the yaoi paddles first.
it
Like,
probably did happen.
It probably happened with the
I
yaoi paddles
remember.
first.
You know what? I remember the yaoi pedals being banned the same time they banned guns.
Damn, that's kind of a thing though, right? Like they're like, oh, these paddles and guns
and guns.
and guns.
It's almost like they said, okay, we got to ban these paddles. But we can't now just ban these paddles because then the gun people are going to revolt. Okay.
Yeah, let's
okay,
ban
let's
both.
ban the guns.
Let's ban both.
But you can still take a real sword.
Yeah, I remember that. You can bring a real like metal sword to the con. They have you tag it, and then they just said, "Don't hurt nobody." That's it. Just don't stab anybody and don't murder somebody. You're good.
And then like a year later, it became you could bring a sword as long as it's not sharpened.
Yes. And then the year after that, I think it was full metal swords were gone, and it was to wood. I think it was the wood.
Wood and swords only. Now it's just like, okay, foam everything.
Foam
gun.
swords. And then that's when foam started getting better,
Yeah.
right? Around those bans. So maybe you can leave it to foam, like all the weapons being banned. So foam technology got better for cosplay.
That's also around the same time like cosplay started getting more mainstream too. Like that's when Jessica Negri started breaking out. That's when Yaya Han started breaking out.
Yeah, they were just. I
yeah.
think Jessica Negri is our age, and Yaya
Yeah.
Han's a little bit older than us. But yeah, they were around the same generation. They saw all this craziness.
The funny thing is, I remember like before Yaya Han blew up,
Mm.
taking a picture with her. She was dressed as Ayane from Dead or Alive,
Okay,
and I of course had no freaking idea who this person was.
but she was hot.
And it wasn't until like years later when I was going back to my pictures and I was like, holy shit, that's Yaya Han.
Oh shit! I took a picture with a
Yes.
previous, like before famous person.
Exactly. So it was kind of like surreal. And the funny thing is, I remember saying like, oh,
Who is she dressed as?
Ayane from
How do you spell that?
Dead or Alive. Ayane. Yeah, there you go.
Dang, bro.
Yeah. So she was that
hot back then too.
She was wearing that exact same outfit.
She was hot. She's still hot.
Yep. But it's funny because like I mainly took the picture with her because I've always been a huge Dead or Alive fan.
Yeah,
That's always
that's
been
true.
one of-
You were one of the few people I knew who was actually ranked. Like,
S tier.
yeah, I was
Like,
like, wait, how are you playing other? Like, I remember going to your house. I'm like, how are you playing other people? And like, oh, that's you got to connect it to the router. And then I was like, bro, what the fuck? I was like, how?
Yep.
He's like,
that
yeah,
was-
my internet's slow, but watch when the technology gets better. I was like, okay.
Yep. And sure enough, it did get better. And freaking Dead or Alive 2 for the Xbox, the original Xbox. You can't say Xbox One anymore because
Yeah, the first Xbox, not the Xbox One.
the first Xbox. Yeah. When the first Xbox came out and we finally got like proper online.
Oh
that
yeah,
was-
that was
Dude, that was like incredible. And I
It-
remember like I was so freaking hyped for Dead or Alive 2 Ultimate. Like
oh yeah.
I didn't even know I wanted this game until it came out. And I sunk so much time into that. If I had
Yeah, we
my
lost you
original-
for a bit there, huh?
Yep. If I had my original Xbox, I bet I probably clocked at least like 600 hours into that game.
Jesus Christ.
Easily.
But even at 600 hours, it's not horrible nowadays. There's people who are clocking like millions of
Thousands,
hours on like what PUBG or what Overwatch or Destiny. Jesus.
Destiny is another one that I clocked in more hours than I realized, but I was nowhere near at the level some of my friends were. Some of my friends were like at 5,000 hours, and I was like,
Was that Sam?
no, Sam.
Sam, what are you doing, bro? Get off Destiny. Get off Destiny, bro. Stop it.
I wonder how many hours he has clocked into Destiny too.
I don't know, man. I haven't talked to Sam in a minute. I kind of want to bring him on the podcast, but I don't know how well he'd do at speaking.
I don't know. Maybe bring him on with somebody else so that they could reminisce about like old times.
Yeah, so once I get the podcast going, like a few episodes in, and people want to actually show up and all that fun stuff, like the plan is to get a couple more mics.
Yeah.
You know, and then have like 3 people or maybe even 4 people.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But it's a work in progress.
Yeah. So back
I'll
to
get there.
the cons, bro. Like I wanna people to understand that times have really changed, but things are getting better. You know.
They are. I think. Well, I mean, first of all, just the fact that things are opening up again is.
Bro, so after, what is it? I want to say after we graduated, right? I think you went to a different high school like the year before I graduated.
Yes, I went to. Yeah, I went to a different high school and actually graduated a year because you got to remember.
Yeah, I remember that. You,
Like, I was a year ahead of you guys,
yeah,
and it's funny because it didn't seem that way, and everybody just thought I was smart, and I'm like, no. I mean,
I'm actually older than
I'm
you.
actually older than you guys, and
Yeah.
it's funny because like even Larry would bring this up. He would always say like Irvin and Annabelle were some of the smartest guys in school.
No.
I
I was
don't
so
know,
dumb, bro.
I remember you always getting good grades. I'm assuming it's because like if you didn't get good grades, chocolate was waiting at home.
Yeah, bro, I got beat.
Yeah,
I got beat a lot. I got beat regardless, good or
Good or
bad
bad.
grades. Yeah, so
you're like A. Why isn't it an A plus?
yeah, dude, my sister set such a high bar for me. It wasn't even funny. And then I
Dang.
found out later that I had but that I was dyslexic, and I was like, oh, this is why I'm fucking having so much difficulty in school. I'm like, okay, cool. So no one else is reading this Chinese? Oh, okay. I thought that was just fucking weird.
It's funny because your parents wouldn't buy that bullshit either.
No, they wouldn't.
I'm not saying it's bullshit, but that's what they would say.
No, they
like,
wouldn't. They were like, you're just being fucking lazy. Of course you can read that shit. Like, what the fuck? but yeah, dude. Like, once I get everything going, I'll have four people on at the same time. But yeah, I'd bring Sam on. I wonder what he would talk about though.
I don't know. Well, I mean, there's a lot we could talk about, honestly, but it really just depends. Like,
oh, but the point that I was trying to get to was, so after you graduated, there was actually another anime club. Did you know about that?
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I think I'm the one that told you.
It was you and a few other people because, like,
yeah. All right,
I remember. See, MySpace was a thing back then.
Oh, fuck yeah. Let's bring that up.
So I remember my MySpace just getting blown up like almost weekly. And it was people saying like, hey, did you help build this anime club?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I don't even go to your school anymore.
I don't even go to the school anymore. Who the fuck are you people?
And it was also people trying to start drama. And I'm
really?
Yeah, like I didn't know these people. And they were like, hey, I think it was Janice.
Yeah, she was the new president.
She was the new president. There was people who would like hit me up and be like, hey, Janice is talking shit about you. And then I'm like, first of all.
Well, to be honest, she was.
Was she really?
Yeah, she really was.
Was it like warrant? Or
no, it was just I kept bringing it up that I'm like, look, yeah, you're continuing a legacy that my friend established. Because after you left, bro,
yeah,
like I found out that the anime club was still going. Right. Because I think that teacher like brought it up to a couple of their students and the students were like, oh yeah, that sounds awesome. And I guess it was Janice, and Janice said, yeah, cool, I'll run it. So she started it back up with because I think you had to file that stupid paper saying like, hey, there's a club after school that's been going on. So
yeah,
that was still that was still valid when you left.
Okay.
So when she went back to the office, like, oh yeah, this club already exists. Do you want to just continue it? But they had to move it from the building. Because that class, I think they moved it to the portables.
Yeah.
So when that whole thing started happening, I found out about it through Janice. And I was like, wait, what the fuck? I'm like, you're into anime? Because for people who don't know, this girl was like a super goth chick.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, so I was attracted to her at first, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then I found out through Sam that she has like pictures of anime characters on her folder. Because that's the thing that you fucking did when you were a weeb. You printed out pictures and put them in your fucking binder.
So
Make
the collages,
yeah, those little fucking yeah. So she had Lolita characters on her binder, and she would hide them. And I saw it one day. I was like, "What the fuck?" She's like, "Oh yeah, I'm the president of the anime club here." I was like, "No. My friend Irvin was the original president of the anime club here, and I remember helping him like pass out flyers. I never saw you there. Like, how are you gonna say that?" She's like, "Well, I run it now." I was like, "Okay, cool."
I think what it was is just because like I did do a lot for that club. I think the bar was set a little bit high because we had sponsors.
We did.
We had weekly. We had like almost weekly DVD giveaways.
I remember that because I had some.
I mean, we did filters. We did a lot.
How did you do that, by the way? Like, what was it? Fuck, was it Omniplex? Omniplex that sponsored us?
Omniplex. I don't think they were around yet. So it was ADV Films, which
ADV Films,
they don't exist anymore.
Really? Didn't they?
No.
What? Wow.
It was the original publisher for Naruto. I forget what their name was. It was like no, it wasn't. They were named something else before Shonen Jump. I forget exactly what they're called, but they're the ones that first localized Naruto over here. I could be wrong. I could be.
It might have been Shonen Jump, bro, because Shonen Jump is old.
Yeah, I think that's right. It was manga. Manga was also.
Oh, manga, right?
They're no longer around.
Oh shit.
Yep.
Damn, that's true.
Yep. They're no longer around, unfortunately. And it was like two other companies that also are no longer around.
Damn, bro, you picked all the sponsors that died. What the fuck?
Well, they were the ones that were popping back then.
That is true, like, man. ADV Films and manga put out some of the most fire like 80s anime you'd ever fucking seen.
Ninja Scroll?
Oh, was freaking fuck yes. Ninja Scroll was fire.
And ADV had the rights for Evangelion.
Oh, did they?
Yes.
That was, damn. I remember when we showed Evangelion at
I know, that was freaking crazy. But yeah, ADV Films had the right for Evangelion, and we got all kinds of sponsors. And in fact, at what point they wanted to keep reaching out to us because I kept telling them, like, I kept communicating
So
with these people.
how did you come up with that idea to reach out to these publishers and be like, hey, we have an anime club at our school. We would love to show some of your stuff, because we could have technically just bought the DVDs and just showed them anyways.
Well, I wanted to do things right, and I wanted to reach out to them and say like, hey, because like copyright laws were kind of in full. You know, after the whole Napster thing, a lot of people were kind of like a little bit overprotective over their IPs.
Oh yeah, that is true. Napster was a thing. Thank you, Metallica, by the way.
But I wanted to do things right, so I reached out to
look
these
at
people.
this bonkers shit, man.
Yeah, Ninja
like
Scroll.
this is
Man.
Ninja Scroll's fight. Like the animation is something to behold. Like 80s anime is very slept on.
You know,
It really is. Like I want to say 80s, 90s, and 2000s is hit or miss. Like
yeah.
early 2000s is like, but some of this 90s stuff, man. Like once it starts going, let's fast forward a little bit. Yeah. So this fight takes a minute, but once it gets going,
I mean, that's a thing with like this 90s anime. There was a buildup, but this buildup, I want to say 80% of the time delivered.
Yes,
because some shows would take like 3 episodes until a fight starts.
Yeah,
so it would get
like
you all
Dragon Ball Z.
Yep, it would get you all.
They were
hyped
synonymous
up,
for that. Yeah,
and you'd be like, okay, when is next episode? Next episode, this fight's gonna happen. This guy's gonna fuck this dude up.
See, but this was a movie, right?
Yeah, that was a movie. So, but no, but I'm saying like a lot of shows used to do that. I think Knights of the Zodiac.
Oh yeah, Knights of the Zodiac.
Too.
Yeah, that was actually really dope.
Gundam used to like Gundam Seed.
Yeah,
used to like hold off on fights also. Like they would like start building up the.
They did that a lot with Gundam Wing, but Gundam Wing you actually had to watch, because if you missed like 2 episodes, you missed like 60% of the plot.
Yes, and then you're like, okay, why are these two dudes fighting? What the hell's going on?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You had to watch that.
So like this movie is so dope. If you guys haven't seen Ninja Scroll, like you guys need to watch it. It's 1993?
Around there, yeah. It's a classic. Well, it's considered a classic now for us.
Yeah, it's a.
You know, we grew up with it. It was just like.
It was dope, man.
Yeah.
Like, but how? Like, what did they say? They're like, "What is this fucking teenager hitting us up for free merch?"
At first they were kind of. At first they were not too open. I just pretty much reached out to them and said, "Hey, you know what? I'm thinking about showing your anime in my anime club. You know I'm in high school, but I just want to get permission." And they would be like, "Okay, yeah, that's fine. You could show it, but let us know if there's more than 20 people screening, because we might have to limit your screen time or what episodes you can screen, because it would say we don't want you screening like episode 2 or 3 or
I do remember that. Yeah.
Because they want them to go out and buy it
and release it. Yeah.
So they would say like, and then sure enough, after the first week, I was like, hey, there was more than 20 people. What don't you want me to show? And they were like, what do you mean there were more than 20 people at your club?
I remember you were surprised at how many people we got, and that was an issue, but I didn't understand why it was an issue.
Yeah, and then they send like dirty flyers and like of their upcoming DVDs. It was like a nice little packet they put together that had like news and everything. And I handed them out, and then I reached back to them and then I said, hey, thank you so much for the flyers and the promo disc. Like we raffled it. A lot of people had fun because we raffled these off, because they would only send like 2 or 3 promo discs.
Right. Yeah, I remember.
And I would be like, I really appreciate you guys doing this. It really means a lot to not just me, but all my members. The only thing I ask is that if you could send more flyers, because a lot of people were disappointed that they didn't get a flyer.
Yeah, dude, because that there wasn't a lot of anime merch back then. So if you got like a flyer of an anime that you really liked, you were pretty set for a while.
Yeah, and the art on I remember the art on those flyers was pretty sick too. Like I remember one of them was Gunslinger Girl, and the front flyer was almost like a poster.
Oh yeah.
And like the person,
you know what, bro? I'm gonna be honest with you. We didn't get any of that after you left. After you left, bro, there was none of that. No DVDs, no stickers, no flyers, no fucking nothing. So maybe it might have been my fault she was talking shit, bro, because I hyped you up a bit. I was like, dang.
I don't think it was just you. I mean,
because there was a lot of the members that came back. Like I remember seeing a lot of new faces and a lot of old faces, but slowly after a couple months, all our old members stopped showing up.
Well, yeah, because there was no swag.
Well,
Well, I mean that
it was.
I
It
think,
wasn't
like,
as much fun because I remember you would be like, "Okay, guys, we're gonna put it on. Everybody, be quiet."
Yeah.
And we would actually sit there and watch it, and we'd giggle, and we laugh and crack a joke. But when we would be watching a screening over there with her and that new anime club, people would just be sitting there talking to each other and not even watching what we're supposed to be watching. You feel me?
yeah, no, I feel you. And the funny thing is, remember, like, see, that's another thing I did is like I fundraised a lot, so I got us like real equipment. Remember, I used to
That
walk around.
projector.
I used to walk around with a suitcase full with a 5.1 surround sound.
Bro, I remember one of my favorite moments of you fundraising was when you brought the Sour Patch Worms,
Yes.
those, and you were selling them, and it was me, Alan, Art, and then you came over and you're like, "Hey, I'm fundraising," and they made fun of you, and I made fun of you also, but I always make fun of you,
Oh, no,
and
that's-
this is true, and I remember grabbing them. And I didn't know what you were doing, but I knew you were selling them.
yeah.
I grabbed them from you and I ran.
Yeah, I do remember that. Because I was like, fuck, I gotta start all over.
And you're like, come back. I've never seen you run so fast in my life.
I was a lot chubbier back then too. Actually,
You were
no.
skinny, bro.
Yeah,
You were
okay.
skinny, dog.
Yeah, because I
You're
went from
chubbier now.
I'm chubbier now. Yeah, you're right. Because I went from being like super chubby in high school to being skinny, and now
You were super thin.
yeah,
you were like
yeah, you're right.
almost
Back then I was-
anorexic.
yeah, back then I was too skin.
Like if
It's
I
fine.
have to, bro, I'll go on your fucking MySpace right now and we'll fucking figure this out. But I remember I took off and you were legit mad, and I never made you mad before. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, like you're mad. I was like, my bad, Irvin. I'm sorry. Here you go. Here are your gummy worms. I didn't think you were gonna get mad. You're like, yeah, man, I'm fundraising for our anime club. I was like, oh shit, that's for us. And I was
Yeah.
like, dang, this dude's like hustling during school hours, fucking selling gummy worms, because they were the good gummy worms. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie, they were I think you were selling like 2 of them for $1, and I was
Yeah,
like, this
'cause it was, like, the
motherfucker.
small pack.
Yeah, I was like, this is motherfucker's overcharging us like crazy, son.
Well, because like if you go to the store, it was like 25 cents a pack.
Yeah, it was.
And
I was like, what the fuck? I was like, all right, bro, whatever. And I specifically remember you'd sell out by Friday.
yeah,
By
Oh.
Friday, you'd be out.
actually, I would go through like sometimes on a good week, I would go through like 4 boxes of like sour punch straws
Mm.
and those gummy bears. I think it was a Haribo gummy bears.
Dang, bro, you could have been a drug dealer. You know that? You could have just, yeah, that's the
Yeah, I
same
could've-
hustle, bro,
yeah.
but you were just selling candy.
I know I could have. I think I was making more money than the kids selling weed at some point.
Actually, I think that's true, bro. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. I honestly think he had better business than the drug dealers at our school, dog. That's fucking
And it wasn't even
hilarious.
for me. It was all for like the anime club.
Yeah, dude. And I get it. I get it. I get why some of the people left and why we got new faces. But it was a different experience. But that's when I met Eric. Like, I
Oh, yeah.
met
I remember
Eric
Eric.
through Janice. And after everything got said and done, and people saw, like, what'd they tell you? They were just like talking shit to talk shit.
The anime people?
Yeah.
Oh no, they weren't really talking shit.
Or they were
just
telling
like,
you someone was talking shit.
Yeah, oh, they were like, oh, Janice is talking shit. It's like mad shit about you. It was like you should show up and put her in her place. And I'm like,
I remember when I brought you.
Yeah.
And then that was a very interesting moment because Janice is cool, but she had this consistent attitude.
Yeah.
Which is, you can either love it or you can hate it. I was like mad about it the entire time.
I mean, she was pretty nice to me. I didn't really.
That was a thing,
Yeah.
right? You showed up and I was like, this is my friend Irvin. And then they treated you like a fucking god.
Yeah, I was king of the nerds, but
Yeah, it was actually really funny to see like by the end of high school, you could walk into a specific classroom and everybody knew about you and everybody loved you. Why?
Yeah.
Because you started the anime club.
yeah, I started the anime club and actually poured like a lot of work and effort and passion into it.
Right.
And I mean, I'm glad that work showed because there was times when I did feel like, oh, you know what? Why am I working this hard? Because I feel like people don't appreciate it.
Mhm.
But I was like, you know what? Even if people don't appreciate it, at least I'm gonna put it out there, and I could say I did it for myself. So at some point, even though because it was kind of hard, because you would
Mhm.
always hear people say like, oh, I didn't get a flyer, so you suck.
Right.
you're stuck because you didn't give me a flyer. Oh, you know what? This person always wins the raffle. I'm like, okay, well, this person always wins the raffle because he's the person buying the most candy. It's not my fault. He
Yeah,
bought
I do remember that. Yeah.
Because like
Some
that's
people
how
didn't do math and be like, hey, statistically speaking,
like
if
this
I buy
person
50% of all of the slots.
exactly, because that's how I would do the raffles. Like, and on top of that, like I think, and I would even hear some people say like, oh, well, you're wasting all this money, but it's not showing. Because it didn't start showing until later on.
Yeah.
And that is discouraging. But I kept going at it. I kept doing it. And once the payoff started, then it became better. And I think a lot of people remember that. They remember like, okay, this person gave us a space where we could be us. This person gave us
dude, it was actually really nice because no one really got made fun of there.
Yeah, exactly. Like, because back then we were not the normal kids. We were the kids that you would look at and you would be like, man, that dude is weird. And I wasn't the only kid in the trench coat in that club.
Yeah, that's true. What was that tall white kid's name? He was like a ginger, I believe, or he had blonde hair. He was a ginger, but he also had a trench coat.
Yeah, his name was David.
Was it David?
Yeah, it was David. But he went by Kaijin.
Yes, I remember that. Yes, I remember Kaijin.
And like I wouldn't even question him. Like, you want to be called Kaijin? Fine, you're Kaijin.
That's
and it was crazy because it became such a like friendly environment, such a friendly environment, and such a safe environment that people felt comfortable to the point where there was people who were like one of the things, I don't think I've ever told this to anyone, and like whenever I think about it, especially now, it kind of makes me like choke up a little bit. But I remember like leaving anime club and cleaning up, and there was this one kid sitting there on the table and he was crying.
Oh shit.
And I was like, dude, are you okay?
Right.
And he was like, is it cool if I stay here for a few more minutes? I just don't want to go home. So I told him, yeah, whatever you want. And I told him like, I do have to clean up, and after I clean up, we do have to go out. But if you want, like, I'll sit with you in the quad and we, whatever you need. As soon as we got out, started walking out, he said, thank you. And he's like, I just need to be away from home because I came out to my parents and my dad hates me.
Oh shit. Damn, that is fucking crazy, bro.
Yeah.
So that's fucking heavy. Like, I'm not, that gave me chills.
Yeah, like I never said that to anyone because like it was a dude's business. But even now, like when I think about like how much it meant to people, and not just that, the fact that this kid felt safe enough to be there.
Right.
And I was taking people away from like toxic environments because I don't know what kind of environment he was, but
well, let's be real here. Like, us not normal kids, we didn't have the best childhood environments.
No.
Like 90% of us were either leaving because we didn't want to be home because our parents knew that we weren't normal and treated us that way.
Yeah.
So why would we want to be home?
Exactly.
You feel me? Like it was really the safe space before a safe space was a fucking thing.
Yeah. So I think that's part of the reason. And like it was great.
Yeah, man, that's fucking heavy. Yeah. But after you left, like I stayed at the anime club for like another year. I stopped going. I'll be honest. I stopped showing up. Like some of the people there were cool. Like I met Eric. That's a whole fucking other deal. We'll get into that right now too. But
the grudge cast.
Oh, dude, the grudge cast. So we had our other friend Larry. He couldn't make it, but he wanted to be on the podcast and he wanted us to write down all the grudges that we had, and he was gonna write down all the stupid shit that annoy him. And I was like, why? Like that they don't make paper that long, son. Like,
well, I mean, I stopped holding grudges. Kind of.
Okay, so what is the definition of a grudge, right? Like, to me personally, it's like someone who consistently thinks about that thing and it bugs them and it changes the person that they are, right?
I think part of it is like you not letting it, like, let's say someone did you wrong and you're not. See, I don't even consider that much of a grudge either.
I'll look up the definition, but you tell me what do you think a grudge is?
I think a grudge is like, let's say someone stole your sandwich.
Okay.
And you're like, okay, I fucking wanted to eat that sandwich.
Okay.
And 2 months later, you're still bringing it up like, hey, no, I don't like that guy because he ate my sandwich. I think
Okay.
that's kind of that's to me, that's a grudge. It's something very petty
Right.
that you should let go,
Right.
but you don't because like maybe at the time you really wanted that sandwich.
Hey, bro, what if that sandwich is the best sandwich
I mean,
on the face of the
Yeah.
earth, and this motherfucker ate your fucking sandwich?
came from a deli that closed that day. You're never gonna have this sandwich
Okay,
again.
this is a I'll give some perspective, right, on what I think might be this grudge. So
Yeah.
let's say that whole sandwich scenario, right? You don't know what kind of situation that other person with said sandwich was
Yeah.
having, right? Let's say his wife left him. He just got into a car accident, and because of that car accident, he lost his job, right? He goes, he grabs his sandwich, he makes it to work, right?
Yeah.
He goes and does his last day on the job. He knows he's getting fired because he's like 4 hours late, right? Tells his boss, hey man, like I crashed my car, fucking whatever. They're like, cool, man. Just pack your shit up by the end of the day. You can't be 4 hours late to work. He's like, fuck, man. He goes, fine, whatever. Goes to get his lunch. His boss, who just fired him, is eating his fucking sandwich.
I mean, that's
Right? We don't know circumstances, dog.
But I mean, I wouldn't see that as a grudge.
But would you not be like, okay, that sandwich was the only good
Yes,
thing he
that's-
had going for him,
And this motherfucker,
and
ate
this
it.
motherfucker just ate his goddamn sandwich? Would that would to me signify worth accountability, right? Because
Yes, that would be worth accountability. But see,
So-
to somebody on the outside, they'd be like, "Oh, you're just
that's fucking petty,
Yeah,
right?
that's
That
petty,
you
yeah.
fucking petty son of a bitch. You're gonna stab this guy over a fucking sandwich.
exactly." It's
But you don't know. You don't know what happened to that guy. You don't know what
Yeah.
he's going through.
no, the sandwich was just like the last straw.
the
That was-
tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, it set him off.
So
I mean, I'm not saying like. See, but I also don't believe that, like, because like the recent shooting and how they gave that excuse that dude was having a bad day.
no,
I don't
I
think it's
honestly
just
think, bro. I honestly think anybody in America right now is 4 really shitty days away from murder.
I mean, maybe a person, yes, but like to go off and shoot off everyone like that, no, I don't think that's a valid reason. I mean,
Okay, but that takes a certain like.
But yeah, but you
That's a
also
little
gotta,
special.
you also got to remember, like, whenever, like, see, growing up, we grew up during the times of Columbine, we grew up during all those post office shootings.
Yeah. Mhm.
And that's one of the reasons why people because I wore a trench coat, teachers would single me out. And
That is true.
this is one of the things that I've hated back then. I didn't really think about it too much back then,
Mhm.
but now, like, it kind of pisses me off that they used to do this
Mm.
because what they would do is they would grab all the kids that they thought weren't normal,
Uh-huh.
and they would try to socialize them with each other.
Oh yeah, I do
Like
remember that.
they used
They-
to have like
they-
a program for that.
They had like a fuck, was it team projects or whatever the fuck?
Something like that.
I
But
forget what
it
it
was
was.
like right after Columbine though.
Yeah.
And like they even gave my mom that as a reason why they want to put me in this program. They were like, oh well, because your kid is not normal and we
Yeah,
want him to
that's-
socialize more so that he doesn't go postal. And
Yeah.
that was a term back then, going postal,
Yeah.
because the
The
mailman,
post office.
the post
shooting.
office, there were so many post office shootings. Like these
Yeah.
mailmen would go insane.
Which leads me to believe, is that just that bad of a shitty job? Or was it one of those situations where it was
I-
just the sandwich?
It's one of those situations where it was a sandwich.
You think so?
Because these postal workers were overworked,
Mm.
they were underpaid, a lot of overtime.
Mm.
Their managers would be like, "Hey, it's your day off. If you don't show up in the next 10 minutes, you're fired."
Goddamn.
Like I wish I was kidding, but that was the attitude that the post office used to have.
That sounds like my old job.
Yeah, I mean, we've all
Sounds-
worked those jobs.
That sound like, no, that legitimately sounds like
No,
my
I know.
old job.
I remember you were always you were always stressed. You were always in a terrible mood.
Yeah, I was always
And-
kind of pissy.
Yeah, and
That
like-
was the lack of sleep. Like,
that's the next
Consistent
thing.
lack of
Like,
sleep.
we'd be like, "Hey, Animal, you want to hang out?" And you'd be like, "I can't because I got to work overtime."
Yep.
So
Fucking 12 hours every day
yep.
for fucking 4 years. Fuck
And-
that.
And even on your days off, you'd be like, "No, I got to work."
Yep.
'Cause,
Yep. because some dumb fuck fucked up my route.
Yep.
But that being said, right? Like, so grudges to me, right? Just saying, like, to just get off this topic real fast. I think it, for me personally, if you do something really fucking stupid to the point where I'm considering doing something stupid, I'm not gonna let it bug me because I'm probably gonna handle it and then let it go.
Yeah.
But if I haven't handled it yet, I'll let it go until I see you again.
Yeah.
And then I'll handle it. Like,
see,
that people think that's petty, but it's sort of like, if you did something that I'm gonna remember years later, you probably did something serious, right? You
Yeah.
didn't just eat my fucking sandwich. I could give a fuck, right? But
Yeah,
if you
like-
did something crazy, like I don't know.
Sold a bunch of your Yu-Gi-Oh
Oh my
cards and
God.
not give you the money.
There's a whole backstory to that one, but yeah, exactly.
We're gonna
that
have
one.
to go into that one a different day. Cause
Yeah. So he wanted us to make that list, but I was like, nah, I'm not making that list. That list would be way too long with too many names and too many reasons. But after that whole thing and we left high school, we still loved anime so much that we decided to do our own YouTube channel, right? We started up a YouTube channel between
me, you, and Eric.
Yeah, us three. And we called it Nerdocracy, right? So
Yep.
Janice's brother became our friend and we brought him around. So let's see if we can find Nerd.
It should still be around.
I can't even spell Nerdocracy anymore.
It's like democracy, but with nerd on top, or with nerd on it.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So
we have a channel trailer.
Oh, we do have a channel trailer. Well, technically, I'm part of this channel, so I think I should be fine to not get a strike on it. So let's see, what is it?
No, it's all creative licenses anyway, so anyone can use them. And
Gucci. All right, so let's this is what 2014. Jesus
Wow.
Christ, bro. And that was actually kind of deep into our production already. So we
oh
start.
my God, I remember I spent so much freaking time with that freaking.
So this is our trailer, bro. This is so good. this is so good. There's baby Irvin. There's me.
Oh my God, dude! It still shocks me what we were able to do with the crap equipment we had.
Oh yeah, man.
Like that's, I'm not kidding when I say that was shot on a $25 camera. Like I found that camera on clearance for $25.
So just in this shot right here, that on our friend, that on our right is our friend Sam.
Yeah. Which from the get-go he said, "Oh, I don't want to be part of that."
Yeah. He hates pictures.
Yeah.
In general, I don't know why he's
Not anymore.
really.
No, he's changed quite a bit.
Oh well, shit! I haven't talked to Sam. And Sam, what the fuck? Okay. Anyways, so back then he didn't like pictures, so he never wanted to be in it. And then right behind him, I don't know if they'll show him.
Oh,
that
there's
guy,
Eric. Yeah.
Perfect. My head's completely cut off. Thanks, Irvin.
Hey, that was the way the camera was shot, dude. I still have that emo haircut.
Oh my God, bro! You didn't have a barber till like who knows when.
Back then I was cutting my own hair.
You already 30 before you saw a barber, and then by then the light was only blinding.
Yeah.
So in this center picture, that's Eric. That's one of the founders of Nerdocracy, who we no longer talk to. Do you talk to Eric?
I've tried, but he never gets back to me.
Oh, I don't talk to Eric.
You remember how he used to have that? He used to have that terrible habit of texting you, and then you would reply, and you would just not hear from him for like ever.
Yeah, but I had the unfortunate ability to like drive to his house because he lived a block away from me. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
So I was like, yo, bro, what the fuck? And he was like, oh, I fell asleep. I took a nap. I was like, okay, fucking asshole. Like, why? What do you want?
You're very well rested if you never respond to anything.
Yeah, dude,
See, like,
for real.
It wouldn't make me angry if he wasn't the first one initiating the conversation.
That is kind of true, right?
Like he would always be like, hey, you want to hang out? And I'll be like,
it'd be some cryptic shit. It'd be like, hey, bro, do you still have insert blank object here? And you're just like, yes, I have it. What's wrong? What do you need? And then he never respond.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck? Why do you need a screwdriver, bro? You all right? Like, dude, what's going on? I could bring you a screwdriver. What's going on?
And we're gonna shank someone.
Like, are we
you in
like,
trouble?
is this like a crucial screwdriver? Is this like a convenient screw? Like, what's going on?
But yeah, he wouldn't do that in that. That
Yeah.
would annoy everyone.
I don't talk to him anymore.
I remember
for
Larry
reasons.
was. I remember Larry going off on him and telling him like, "Dude, you're a shitty friend because like, you can't even reply to a freaking text."
Oh yeah, that's the one thing I love about Larry. He's very blunt.
Yeah, he's very blunt.
It's a
He'll try-
double-edged sword though, because that's also one of his worst qualities.
Yeah, because it pisses all of us off, but we're like, okay, yeah. But you know what? It also does. It does kind of set us on the right path too, because we're like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm mad because he's right, because that is fucking stupid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He does do a lot of that. He does say the most reasonable shit that's annoying.
Yeah.
You're like, God damn it.
Oh man, remember like all our con interviews? Those were actually fun. Like,
Yeah, dude.
I had
And
a
we
lot
did
of
it.
fun doing that.
For any like up and coming like nerd who wants to start up their channel, they should fucking do it. Cause we did it like 6 years ago with literally like a $30 mic and like what camera were you using? Like a 70D or not even, huh?
Not even. It was like a really cheap camera.
I
And
remember
honestly,
it was a DSLR, but I don't
yeah,
know
it was
what
a DSLR, but it was like a $200 DSLR that I picked up.
I don't know, man. We did a decent job. Like we started picking up steam before like the wheels fell off of it. So Nerdocracy was basically, God damn. I remember this interview.
Yeah.
Okay, so before I get into
like, I learned how to use freaking After Effects for that. And by the way, that was not like a legitimate. I still have the trial version of After Effects.
Oh my gosh.
So I had to go in and edit out the watermark.
Okay, so funny, before I get into why the wheels fell off on Nerdocracy, this interview was one of the hardest interviews I ever had to do.
I know why.
Yeah.
There's two reasons why.
There was 3 reasons why.
Wasn't her boyfriend like right
Her
there,
boyfriend is just out of frame, staring straight at me.
Her boyfriend was like, "That's not fucking luck, dude."
The funny part is that like her outfit, like I felt like I had 200-pound dumbbells on each of my eyes.
Yeah.
Trying so hard not to look.
And the funny thing is, like, wasn't her boyfriend like also buff?
No, he was a skinny white boy.
He was a skinny white.
Skinny white boy.
I thought he was buff.
But he was just out of frame.
He was like, dude, he was like staring. He's all like,
yeah.
Yeah.
So after I talked to him, like, because after we got done or whatever, I was like, Jesus Christ. Because I saw her and I wanted to interview because she was really pretty. And I asked her, I'm like, what are you cosplaying? What anime character? Because there's a lot of like generic bunny girl maid / top, like whatever this is, right? There's a lot of characters in anime that are dressed like this. But I was like, who are you specific? She's like, oh, I'm a Playboy bunny.
Yeah, she wasn't dressed as anything specific.
I was
like
so dead. I was like, fuck.
You know, the funny thing is nowadays, isn't there like an anime that has that outfit? Like I feel like I've seen it on an anime.
Bulma does this in blue.
You're right. She
does this in blue. And I was like, oh, maybe she's doing like, because people do spin-offs on artwork all the time. I was like, oh, she's probably doing a Bulma in red.
Yeah.
You know, she could have said that and I would have believed it. But she's hella honest. She's like, I'm a Playboy bunny. I was like, for sure. And then after the interview was done, I stared away after we got done because I couldn't do it while she was in front of me, bro. Like, I could not do it. But I walked over and I talked to her boyfriend, and her boyfriend was like, well, thanks for letting me interview your girlfriend. That was really nice of you. And I'm sorry, but I tried really hard not to stare. And he goes, it's okay. I bought them. I was like, bro.
But see, like, I don't know. Like, I kind of feel like, what was I going to say? I'm trying to choose my words closely.
Hey, bro, this podcast, I don't give a fuck.
Okay. But no, like, see, now I completely lost my train of thought. But no, I was gonna say something like, the funny thing is, like, you go up to this dude and tell him that, but other people are gonna be like, oh, it was like, she's not her property. And yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
That is true. But I mean, like, I think a lot of people don't see it like kind of like there's like a cultural thing there, I want to say. Like you're doing it so that this dude doesn't stab you later in the parking lot.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
But like a lot of people are going to be like, okay, she's not his property. There's no reason you should have thanked him for the interview. And they're
yeah, but like,
but,
okay,
like,
I'll put it to you like this. I was trying to be as respectful as possible.
exactly. Yeah, there's
So
that too. Because
I thanked her, and then I thanked the boyfriend for letting her, because I didn't want to cause drama in the relationship, because there's a lot of guys who are insecure and wouldn't let her be interviewed by a guy with a mustache who looks like he could be a porn star and possibly try to get at his girlfriend. And let's be honest here, I probably would have tried if he wasn't there.
But see, the thing is, like, you have being a guy in that position, you do have to have that security, because
Oh yeah,
there is gonna be a lot of creeps just staring at your girlfriend.
bro, there was a dude. I don't know if you can see him on frame, but there was a dude just out of frame. Where's he at? Who stops and just like his jaw drops. I don't know if it's this guy. There's a guy. Where is he at? Someone walks by and just like their jaw is dropping, because he sees us and he comes out of frame, and I see him look back and just stare.
Oh, I remember that. He almost tripped.
Yeah.
He was staring so hard he almost tripped.
I paused in the middle of the interview to like go, and anyways, and yada yada yada. And she's completely focused. She did never notice it. She probably gets this all day long. I don't know if she doesn't care or she's used to it, but it didn't phase her not one bit, not even a little bit. And I think Eric was out cosplaying that day.
He was cosplaying as what's the name? It's a League of Legends character.
I don't know.
I remember how hard he worked in that cosplay though, and it came out great. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
And oh my god, remember that Timon who was like talking so much shit about his axe?
Yes, and we caught it on video.
Yes, and he has like he had like what looked like a great value version of it.
Yeah.
And oh my god, he was like, see, that's another thing that I don't understand, because like a lot of people were coming up to
some people are just gonna hate to hate, bro.
Yeah, it's true, and it's sad, because it shouldn't be like that. We should be like support. It should be like a thing where we support each other, but some people are just gonna hate. Which whatever, it doesn't matter. Let them hate. Just do your own thing. But no, I just thought it was funny, because we were like outside of our hotel waiting for the shuttle, and this dude dressed in the Timon outfit was just talking mad shit, because there was two girls talking to Eric
because of his cosplay.
Yeah, and they were saying like, "Oh my god, you even got the proportions on the axe right.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like his axe. It looks like it's up to scale," which I don't know if it was.
I don't know either. I didn't play the game.
I mean, he put a lot of time into it, so it could have been up to scale. But these were like people who were also dressed as other League of Legends characters, and they were like really complimenting him and asking him like, "How did you do it?" And then this fucking Timon comes up and
I don't know if it was him hating or because he was trying to cock block, or that was his friends, because I think he came with them.
No, he didn't.
No,
because they were because like as soon as we got out the shuttle, he went a completely different way.
Oh damn, I wasn't even paying attention.
But no, like he was just, I just remember him talking his shit to like all of us, because
I remember I talked some shit. I don't remember what I said. I just remember I was being snarky as fuck.
Because he was like in a store-bought freaking Timon outfit acting like he's a shit.
Yeah. I don't know why he would cosplay Timon either, to be honest.
I mean, maybe Kingdom Hearts. But
oh yeah.
That is a good valid point. Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts 2 just came out around that time too. Or no, it's been out.
It was out. It's been out.
It's been out.
It was been out.
But no, like I just remember him talking so much shit about his axe and then hyping up his own axe, saying how his was to scale and everything. And then I remember running into this guy later on, and he took one look at us and he ran. He walked so fast the other way.
Yes. We were in the middle of interviews and he saw us and he just kind of turned and then like
walked so
beeline
fast.
the opposite way.
He had his shitty fucking Kirkland's best axe. Fucking great value.
Great value axe.
And it literally looked like he grabbed the broom handle and just pieces of foam.
To be honest, bro, like Eric did ditch us almost that entire con.
He did.
He ditched us like almost that entire con.
Yeah.
But let's talk a little bit about Nerdocracy and what happened with that. So we started up this channel, all four of us. Well, it was three of us to start off with, and then Larry joined, right?
Larry joined.
Here at the top is our banner art. I drew this. So I even drew him in that cosplay because he got so much attention for it. And then there's Larry, and then there's you being you, and then Larry being Larry. And then me on the side being my fucking drama ass. So we did this for what? I want to say
We did it
like
for
2 years?
I want to say 2 years. Yeah.
2 years?
We were getting some traction. We were at the point where we were starting to attract sponsors also.
Well, one of our videos has 2,000 views. The other one has like 1,500.
1.7K, 2.7K views, which again, so may not seem like a lot right now, but back then, whenever all this was not,
we weren't. It was amazing. If
Yeah,
you
it
got
was amazing.
600 weebs in one place, like it was mind-boggling. To get 2,700 weebs to watch a video you made was impressive.
oh, I remember that intro. She put so much work in that.
That shit
cosplay.
was amazing.
Yeah, it was, and the wings even moved.
I don't remember that, but I believe
Yeah,
you.
they moved. There was so much done to that cosplay. It was freaking amazing.
So we did this for like 2 years. And then the wheels started to fall off because of things that were happening outside of the channel.
Yeah.
So it was me, you, Eric, Larry, and I was mainly the one doing a lot of the shit going out, a lot of the
You were doing all the actual like filming, and I was doing most of the editing.
yeah, most of the editing.
And what did Eric have? He had to do something, and he just wouldn't do it. I know. Was it the editing? Was he supposed to help with the editing, or
He was supposed to help you with the editing because he had a computer.
Yeah, because my computer crapped out at the time, and he wouldn't do the editing.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember I gave you footage, and then you and Eric were supposed to do all the technical stuff, edit it, make it look pretty or whatever.
Yeah, and then like I would go over to his house and be like, okay, let's edit this, and he'd be like, hey, I just got not Among Us. What's that one Marvel versus? It was Injustice. There we go. I just got Injustice. You want to play? I'm like, no, dude, I'm here to fucking edit this shit. Come on.
Yeah, he did do that a lot.
And then he would be, I would go over. Then the next time I would go over and be like, hey, bring your computer. We could play The Forest. I'm like, first of all, my laptop doesn't fucking run that well.
So you brought it up to us, to everybody.
Yeah.
That you weren't happy with the situation, and Eric kind of stayed silent. But I know you guys were talking a lot because we would come over for game night. We play Munchkin.
We would play a bunch of different games like Munchkin. This is before we were like really heavily into Magic.
Well, yeah, we'll get into that because, but like we played Munchkin. There's some other fucking because we always played games every fucking Wednesday. We played. I remember the only game that I was good at was Gears of War. And that was fucking it. That was it. But we played a bunch of fucking video games every fucking Wednesday. But you guys talked, but what ended up being the issue with like the stories that you wanted to write? Like what? Because I remember you got really upset and then you told us like, hey guys, tired of doing this shit. I don't get my own videos. And you're like, Annabelle, you are always in the videos. I want to be doing my own videos. We said yes.
Yeah.
But where did that stem from? Like what happened?
It stemmed from part of it was frustration. I was frustrated because
the editing or like not being in the video.
It was part of it was like getting no help from the editing.
Oh, okay.
And that kind of grew into like resentment.
Okay.
Because like I felt like I was editing like other people's stuff too much, and I wasn't putting out like what the content I wanted to put out.
Okay.
I felt like that was getting neglected because I had a bunch of ideas, pretty much.
It's okay, bro. We all felt like that.
Yeah, and I think because of it, even you were starting to feel that way because like your shit wasn't getting done. You're like, okay, well, I spent all this time filming this and it's not even getting done. To be honest,
I did have like 3 different videos that I gave you and Eric, and they like never got posted. I still don't know what the fuck happened to that footage.
Like, honestly,
they probably got deleted. It's fine.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I could probably no. Anyways,
it doesn't matter. But so you started doing creative creepypastas?
Not creepy pastas. It was like random because I would ask for like random confessions of like what people would do, and it was fun because people would send me in like random ass stories.
Bro, I've been meaning to ask you about that for fucking years. Were these stories really submissions or did you write them?
No, those were submissions.
Really?
Those were like
They were legit submissions.
There were people I would hit up on like, well, see, Facebook was a thing at this point.
Yeah, it was.
There was I would post I would post like in Facebook. No, it wasn't Facebook groups.
Because some of these stories are cringy as fuck.
No, they are.
Some of them were fucking cringy.
I want to say I can't remember exactly where I got them from. I think I got them from 4chan, where I would create a post and be like, hey,
"Oh, you got them from 4chan."
Yeah, I would be like, "Hey, I want cringy stories of shit you guys used to do, like nerd stories."
You should have just opened with 4chan.
Yeah.
You should have been like, "Yeah." So the submissions were from 4chan, guys.
I feel like it was 4chan.
I think if you would have told us that, we wouldn't have called bullshit on these stories.
But I don't remember 100% because I posted on multiple. I posted on multiple sites and on multiple forums, and I think I even posted on. I don't think it was Facebook because I don't remember if Facebook groups was a thing at that time.
I don't think so. No,
but it could have been. I just remember I posted him on multiple sites, and I got a few submission backs. And I'm pretty sure if I log into like my 4chan account, I probably have a few like DMs of.
That's fucking bananas, bro. Because I'm gonna play one. The one that I remember the most was I broke my boyfriend's tablet.
Oh yeah, that one was funny.
Okay, so I'm not gonna go through the whole fucking thing, but this is you from fucking what, like 2015.
Oh yeah, see, and the whole point of this is I just played games and.
Okay, let me bring that up just a little bit. Hold on.
Yeah, I need it. I'm reaching deep into the ocean of nerdom and bringing you whatever secrets may lie beneath. So the funny thing is, that was like a $10 lavalier mic I was using. Who wrote me in?
It doesn't sound horrible.
No, it doesn't.
Quite a bit of an interesting.
What is this, Titan?
That's Titanfall.
Okay. Titanfall, yeah. Titanfall was a good game.
Dude, I used to. Obviously, look, I'm actually
kicking ass. A few months ago, my boyfriend bought a new tablet.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it right there.
Yeah.
So, what did you do to your voice?
So,
like what?
I did. So I changed the pitch.
Okay.
I added a phone filter to make it sound like I was talking through a phone. And I think that was it. I just changed the pitch and added. Like,
that's amazing, bro. That's fucking dope.
You remember Eric was like, "Who the fuck is that chick?" And I'm like, "That's not a chick. That's me, bro."
I'm gonna continue to play this. You guys listen real close.
He was quite excited about it.
Damn, bro. That shit's comedy.
He took that thing everywhere.
It legit sounds like a chick calling on the phone.
Yeah, that was actually really good. I'm not gonna lie. Okay.
And I mean everywhere. Fortunately, the one time I didn't look before I sat in his car, I happened to sit on his tablet.
And that's basically like the whole story, but then it just gets so much cringier.
Yeah, the whole story is just this chick, like, I sat on my boyfriend's tablet, I broke it, and I had to sit on it the entire ride.
Yeah. And it's just cringy. Like the whole story is like fucking cringy. But I'm not gonna lie. If you would have thrown a sprinkle of like humor and not try to make it as serious, this would have been fucking amazing.
It would have, yeah. Like,
but these they felt like they were being scary stories.
Yeah.
I don't know what's the word for it.
It felt like, yeah, because they were supposed to be confessions.
Right.
But back then I didn't know the proper tone to take with these.
Right.
Like, I was still trying to figure all this out.
I'm not gonna lie.
I heard a loud crack.
That sounds amazing. That I'm not gonna lie. The first time I heard this, bro, I cried laughing. I didn't, because my brain has a fucked up sense of humor and it thought it was funny as fuck. I'm like, this is Irvin as a girl. And I pictured the whole, and I knew you weren't trying to be like funny with it, but it was just.
And rather than let him know about it.
Yeah, like the entire series, like the entire point was, it was meant to be cringe, because I wanted to make something that you would listen to and you'd be
in
like,
your defense, bro, you got 209 views.
I know.
But me,
And that's without
Larry,
promotion, but-
and Eric hated them.
Yeah.
Like we hated, and we let you run it too. Because why? Because you were our editor. And we said, well, shit, he's got a point. We're the only ones doing shit. I'm like, that's not fair to him.
Yeah.
Let him put up his own videos. And then a couple of my friends hit me up and they're like, what is up with this tablet story?
So here's the thing also, like, I know a lot of people want to go into these things like as a group, but
It's hard, right?
It's hard because you got to know your audience. And like when you have so many cooks in there, it's hard to find an audience. And like, even if you attract an audience for, let's say we attract an audience for your stuff,
right?
They're not going to want to stick around because then they hear like cringy tablet stories and they're going to be like, I don't want none of that shit. Let me unsubscribe.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we did get a little bit of that. I had a couple people hit me up and be like, hey bro, where's the anime stuff? I'm like, well, we're making stories also.
Yeah. And that's why it's very important to be consistent. That's one of the things we learned is
being consistent.
Yeah. Being consistent with your content. Yeah. You want to know what you're going to bring up, and you just want to make it pretty much either about you or about whatever you're talking, because you can't just throw a bunch of random ideas and expect everyone to stick around, because people are not going to, like, some people, like, I got compliments on the cringy stories and some people loved them.
Right.
But I would also get like hate mail, like, hey, why the fuck are you posting this? This is fucking stupid.
Yeah, I don't understand hate mail. Like that seems like a lot of effort.
It's just angry people. You're always gonna have angry people. That's
true. But I definitely feel what you're saying, that you have to be consistent to reach your audience, because I have that that issue consistently, because I make anime stuff and then I make car stuff. Then I make random stuff. Then I make anime stuff. And then I make car stuff. And I guarantee you that's one of the reasons why my YouTube is not doing so hot.
It probably is. That's why you got to make it. See, when all else fails, you got to sell your personality. That's one of the things I learned, especially like streaming. Like, a lot of people don't give a fuck when I'm streaming. A lot of people just go in there to talk to me and say, hey, what's up? How are you doing? How you been? You know, a lot of people, some people will legitimately just want to get to know a person. And then from there, they'll be like, okay, well, this guy's cool. I wonder why he likes this. And then they'll be like, okay, you know what? Yes, that game is fucking cool. I see what he's streaming. And
yeah, but that's a different platform than YouTube, bro. Like, YouTube has its own, you gotta have that little special sprinkle on it to get it to work.
It's a lot hard. Well, I mean, it's a lot harder to get recognized.
Get big. Yeah.
But like,
I feel like it's more consistency and the focus of content to get it good on YouTube. And we kind of had that going, but so the wheels fell off, right? So you had issues, we had issues. At the end of the day, we broke up, right?
Yeah.
So you and Larry ended up doing your guys' own thing. Tell me a little bit about that.
I was so kind of similar, but not to the point where we were just throwing content around.
It was a hell of a lot more serious. I want to say on a different scale. Serious,
but if we had it set, you know, like we had a podcast, we would on the side, we would stream like games and stuff. And I was the one that would primarily do the streaming and try to bring in the audience in. But so
who was involved? So, because I don't know officially.
Yeah. So I don't want to throw too many names out there because we're still involved with.
Oh, you guys are still handling stuff.
Yeah. And then,
well, how many people were in the group?
4 people.
4 people. Yeah. Okay. So I know 3 of them. Yeah. So you guys started your own podcast, the YouTube also, right?
Podcast, YouTube. And then, honestly, the podcast went really, really well. Like,
right.
We had people that would listen to us. We had people that would always pretty much every week they would be there live watching us and listening to our podcast. And it was great. But then it became a thing with one of the guys that was running it. He would be like, oh, well, I don't want to go this week.
Right.
Or, you know what, I'm going to do. And
yeah, don't tell me any names, but tell me the tea. What the fuck happened?
And then he would be like, you know what, I just want to do it from my house. We're like, okay, fine. That's going to create a lot more issue for us. It's not going to sound as clean, but fine. Fucking do it from your house. We don't care. Just show the fuck up.
Right.
And then he wouldn't show up. He wouldn't even do that anymore. And it became a thing where, because we were doing this as kind of like a passion thing. It was all of us just talking like a bunch of different things.
So let's see the upgrade, right? From your guys's, look at that, man. Like you guys really went ham on the
Yeah, so
quality section on
I
this
honestly
trailer.
cannot take credit for the
the trailer?
assets or even the trailer, because that was honestly
The other guy.
the other guy. Yeah,
Gotcha.
He created all the assets and everything. He created the website.
Well,
But-
to be fair, right?
Yeah.
There's about 8 years of knowledge between here and there, right?
Yeah.
Between our podcast / YouTube and this one. So you guys learned a lot. Like you're
we did learn a
you're in
lot.
IT now. Well, you've always been in IT, but now you guys are really into IT.
Yeah,
And you guys learned how to do all kinds of stupid shit like this, right?
yeah, exactly. Like we learned all kinds of stuff, and like we managed to bring it all together, and it was actually working really well. And I'm not gonna lie, we had so much fun with it when things were going good.
Well,
But
yeah, that's always how it is. When things are going good, it's fun. When
But-
things aren't going good, it's shitty.
I think it kind of felt like a thing where
It no longer was fun, right?
I was still having fun.
But some of the members were like,
some of the members were like, no. And even some of them invested a lot into it. Like they in audio equipment, in time, in effort. You know, there was a lot of
like money involved.
Yeah, not a lot of money. There was a lot of time and effort and love put into it, and like it showed. But then it's like it started getting into these conflicts.
Mhm.
Then it
So,
started
so
getting,
what exactly happened? Was it just a matter of like one person was carrying all the weight, like how you were doing for the editing for us, or was it more of a?
it wasn't even that.
It wasn't even that.
It wasn't even, because like we were all kind of sharing. Like Jason took care of the technical stuff.
Right.
Larry took care of like all the organizing and everything.
Yeah, because I remember you guys had like a full blown script.
Yeah,
Like-
we had everything consistent, and
I'm-
we all putting some effort into it, and all it took was that one person to be like, you know what, I don't fucking care anymore, and then it started picking fights over this and over that, and they would even like start their own thing,
No.
and they would be like, oh, mine's gonna be better.
Oh shit! Did they start up at Twitch like versus you guys, or were they still
No,
using?
it wouldn't be versus, but it would be in conjunction.
Oh, so they started on their own segments.
Yeah, their own
on
segments.
on the same channel.
And then it started with it started with a bunch of stuff, and it started with people not being transparent
Mhm.
to what was going on in the background.
Mhm.
And we would have to, a lot of us would be like, okay, so if you're not going to do it, then we have to come in and fix it, because we want to keep this thing going.
Right, because you guys actually got the ball rolling really
Yes.
hard. So we went from our channel doing like what 2,000 views to consistently your guys' channel where it was doing 800, 300, 200, 200, 180. That's just on like the low stuff. You guys have a fuck ton of videos.
Yeah.
A royal fuck ton of videos. So,
And then I started doing a lot
but
of
your
those are
guys' content
streams. It's-
stuff shifted, right? Because
Yeah.
it went from like our nerd shit, our anime stuff, to your guys is doing gaming and streaming, right?
Yeah, gaming, streaming, and the podcast. The
And the
podcast was
podcast.
probably the biggest thing for us. The streaming now is mostly like me. I would do most of the streaming.
We'll get into you streaming in a minute, but your guys' podcast was more popular, correct?
Yeah, the podcast was definitely more popular.
Right. So after that whole conflict thing happened, you actually had more traction than the rest of the cast, I would say.
Yeah, so I pretty much,
But you were doing what you're doing now back then.
yeah.
What gave you traction in this YouTube channel? I think you're still on this YouTube channel. Are you still using this?
I haven't uploaded in 5 months.
Right.
But-
But you're not on YouTube. You're on Twitch.
I'm on Twitch.
That's like the Irvin specialty. And you go by a different moniker on Twitch, right?
Yeah, real no nickname.
Real no nickname.
I still use the Someone Pick a Healer channel, but that's because that was my name. Like I came up with the name. So the name originally came when we were trying to figure out a name for the podcast, and we were like, okay, well, what do we all like? And at the time, we were all really into Overwatch. So we're
Right.
like, well, we all like Overwatch. We all like games. We're just a bunch of nerds. And one of the things that we would always have an argument is who wants to be support. So we would be like, okay, someone needs to be
who wants to be the
someone
healer.
needs to be the healer.
Right.
And then like I was sitting there and I was thinking like, this is probably an argument that a bunch of groups have
Consistently. That
consistently.
is no
Like,
one ever
not-
wants to be the healer.
not just in Overwatch, but
Let's
in
be real
like,
gamer people.
Yeah.
No one wants to fucking be the healer.
like in Overwatch and World of Warcraft, pretty much any game that needs support. No, and support is really important. They're like they win games. If you don't have good support, you're not gonna win games.
How do you spell your moniker?
Someone pick a healer. No,
Yours.
Rio, no, and then NIK, and then name.
Oh,
Yeah,
gotcha. There you go. Found you, bro.
I'm on Twitter. I don't have that much following on Twitter because I.
So let's
not
go
consistent,
to
but,
what, Twitch?
Yeah, it would be Twitch.
There you is, bro. Look at that professional
Oh,
shit.
yeah, so
before we
that's
get into
actually-
like that,
sponsored by Wizards of Coast.
before we get into
Yeah.
that. So the stuff you were doing on Someone Pick a Healer, right?
Yeah.
Gave you traction for what you're doing on Twitch
Yes.
because a lot of your fans followed you from
Someone pick a healer.
Someone Pick a Healer because they're into Magic, and so are you.
Yes.
And when we'll get into Magic right now, so let's see what we have on Twitch.
Yeah, Twitch.
Twitch. All right.
So Twitch, I actually ended up cleaning up my Twitch because there was a bunch of people that just stopped viewing.
Mm,
So if they're not like consistently coming up, then because they used to be like at 1,000.
Right.
But again, part of that was because of the podcast.
am I gonna have to search you? I feel like I'm gonna have to search you.
Oh, for Twitch, it's
Yeah.
just for Twitch, it's still Someone Pick a Healer.
Oh, is it? Oh
Yeah.
shit. Okay. So we're going to Twitch, people. All right. So Someone Pick a Healer. Someone.
TP's coming in from boxing.
Whoa. I don't give a
to see.
fuck about you guys. You need to pause. You need to get the hell out of here with that nonsensical stuff on one esports
Yeah.
jumping on my podcast. Let's see. Someone.
There we go. Someone Pick a
There
Healer.
you is. Okay. So you guys also have a Twitch together, right?
Yeah.
But you're using this channel as your Twitch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because I came up with the name. So I wanted to keep the name and I wanted to keep the name because I build an audience
Right.
from that name.
Right. And that's where they know you from, right?
Yes.
From the podcast
Someone
and
pick-
stuff.
Yeah, from the podcast and from that.
So
And-
the traction that you picked up was from Magic. Originally Larry I was the first one to play Magic, but then Larry got back into it and you got into it. But then you really got into it. But when I say you really got into it, I mean you really got into it.
I just freaking love it. Like it's such a complex game and there's a lot of strategy involved.
I love Magic too. That's also why I played Yu-Gi-Oh, because it was strategic, it was competitive, it made you think, it was fun. And for those of you who haven't played Magic, I would suggest you give it a try.
Yes.
But you started live streaming what was the first Magic content you put out on Someone Pick a Healer?
The first was MTG Arena because
Arena. Okay.
I got into the beta at the time.
Damn, you were literally
like-
on there from
Yes,
day
I
one.
was. So I was there when they were still trying to figure things out. They didn't even have a store set up. They didn't have like. It was so early on
Mhm.
that they only had 2 sets on it.
That is super early. Like I
So it was closed beta. I was streaming it, and that is where I got a lot of traction because
is this one of your more recent ones? December?
oh yeah, that was one of the most recent ones.
Or do you have any
So
more
that's
recent
like-
ones? Or is that it?
No, that's it. I kind of fell off of Arena just because I'm not too happy with the
format?
standard meta.
Gotcha.
And
That
I've
format
been-
kind of sucks.
yeah, it's been real. It's just a rough meta. Like
Yeah.
it's to the point where if you have a bad opening hand
Mhm.
and your opponent doesn't, you're not gonna win. And I felt like it relies too much on your opening hand now.
Really? Is
there's-
that fast now?
It's not even fast. It's just there's no room for mistakes.
Oh shit. Okay.
And like, I mean, Magic's always been the game where if you make one mistake, it's gonna cost you the game.
That is basically how that works. Yeah.
But it became to a point where I was having less and less fun because the meta was just really toxic.
Well, before we get too into that,
Yeah.
my question is, you were doing these live streams on the beta version of Arena. When did you realize you really liked Magic? And did you reach out to them first, or did they reach out to you?
They actually reached out to me and said if I want to be part of their creator program.
That's fucking dope.
Yeah. So that was actually really fun. And of course, I jumped on it because I'm like,
Right.
yes, I want to be part of your creator program. I freaking
Of course,
love Magic.
you
Like,
play the fucking game every day.
yeah. And at that time, yes, I was playing it like every freaking day. I was top mythic rank, and I was constantly on it.
So let's take a quick look at some of your gameplay, right? Like this is one of your recent videos.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons.
Well,
then you have to wait for the ad.
all right, so I'm gonna mute that while that plays. But so you started playing, they reached out to you and they said what? Hey, we want you to be part of this program. To do what? Just play Arena, or was
play
it
Arena? So what they did is it was all Arena. So they wanted me to play Arena. They gave me a God account that has every single card for the special events.
I feel like that's fucking broken.
Well, you only play against other people with the VIP account. You don't play with like
because if you're playing fucking plebeians like me, fucking with a God account, I feel like that would be OP.
But where I did get the advantage is they did give me, and again, like you have to be transparent on everything they did. They gave me a bunch of booster packs.
Continue.
And in the game. So I think I got like 90 from each set at the time. And there was like 5 sets.
Okay.
And if you don't know, 90 booster packs on Arena is about $100.
See, I never got into buying booster packs in Arena because I felt like, why am I going to buy digital cards
whenever you could buy like the actual real ones? Cards. Yeah. That's kind of like, that's kind of something that's like really hard.
Because at the end of the day, if you have a $90 card now, that could be a $200 card later.
Yeah, in Arena, it's you have a digital card.
Yeah, so it just seemed really weird.
I really wish, and this is my only criticism about like one of my criticisms about Arena, is that I really wish they would do like the Pokemon thing, or if you buy a booster pack, you get a code so that you can redeem it on Arena.
See, that would be really
like,
smart.
I feel like that would push more paper product.
Right.
And I mean, obviously, like digital is where the money's at. But I feel like if people saw, okay, you could get a code and then reclaim that booster pack like Pokemon does, I think I would feel like it would move sales more. And people might even be more inclined to spend in-game currency.
I know if I had a copy of all the cards I own in digital, I would definitely play Arena more.
Yeah.
For sure. 100%.
And I'm starting to get back into it just because like back then, like pretty much so it was one card. If you didn't play this card, then you fucking lost. And that was, I mean, I don't know if you remember Oko, Thief of Crowns.
Yeah, I do. Actually,
it was freaking everywhere. And I just got tired of seeing that card. And now,
so as you're just playing the same deck over.
It wasn't even the same deck. It's just decks with splash in blue to include this fucking card. And
that is annoying.
And like, okay, see, here's one of the things that even the pros were like, yeah, we're fucking tired of this meta, because like if you know him, the Tolarian professor from Tolarian Community College.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure there's people out there that are
the prof.
Don't know who he is.
Professor.
But this guy had a pro player come up. The Asian Avenger, and this guy is like
that's his actual
moniker. That's the
Asian Avenger. Okay,
amazing player.
I'm assuming he's Asian.
Yes.
I'm a fucking genius.
But no, so the Asian Avenger came on his podcast, and he was saying that the meta is just too rough.
Really?
Even like pro players are just burned out and they're tired of dealing with it.
I'm into Magic, right? I do follow some of the main influencers or whatnot. It's the professor, not to talk shit, seems like he's kind of really in Magic's pockets. So for him to be like, hey, the meta is not doing
See,
so
the
hot.
funny thing is that he's not even sponsored by Wizards of the Coast.
Really?
No, he's not.
But he's on it. Like he's
on. But here's the thing: is that he
is it
straight
just
up
because he's specifically Magic?
he's specifically
oriented?
Magic and he loves the game,
Mhm.
but he will call out everything he thinks is not right that they're doing, and that's why they want
I
sponsor
haven't
him.
seen too many of those videos, but maybe you're right.
There's
maybe
there's
you're
a few. There's like if you go back go past there's a bunch of videos where he tells him that, well, okay, that's just a cash grab. It's not good for the game.
Oh,
not
really?
long term.
I need to see those because
Yes.
I haven't seen those. I've seen a lot of his stuff where he's giving
Like praises.
Yeah.
Because he does that too. Like whenever they deserve praise, he'll give him praise. Like
maybe
whenever,
it's just the stuff that I'm searching and the
Yeah.
stuff he pops up on.
like whenever mystery boosters came out, he praised them for mystery, and I agree with him. Like mystery boosters was probably one of the best products they've ever released. There was a lot of value, a lot of worthwhile reprints,
Mhm.
and it was just a real fun draft experience. Of course, I only got to draft mystery boosters one time because as soon as they came out was around the same time as COVID hit. And
I don't think I got to play Mystery Boosters.
yeah, it's unfortunate. It came out at the worst time because drafting mysteries boosters was so it was so much fun. The only other time I had fun drafting a product was when Unstable came out. And
Honestly, when we drafted that stable pack, bro, I'm gonna be very honest. I lost, but I did not understand the mechanics of that
No, it
unstable
was-
pack at all.
it was
all.
wacky. It was crazy, but that's what I loved about it because it was
I feel like we should have done a bigger draft. Like if we should have done because we were missing pieces that other people had,
yeah.
and that made it really hard to draft. At least in my experience.
Well, see, like I spent like a month straight at the local game store drafting
Mhm.
Unstable,
Right.
and I would draft it like 3 to 4 times a day.
Oh well, see, you had more experience and
I
you
had a
kind of knew the
lot.
mechanics.
Yeah, and
Like I was looking at some of these cards, like what the fuck? Like this
Well,
card does
because
nothing.
what I like about the unsets is that they throw everything you know about Magic. They just say, you know what, we're just gonna shit on our own card game, and we're gonna make fun of it. Like they make all the unsets. First of all, they're not legal in any other
So you can only
format.
play
You can
unset.
you can only play unsets with unsets.
Right.
But the cards themselves
Explain unset for people who have no idea
so
what
the
this
cards
magic stuff is.
themselves have like weird mechanics. Like I remember there's one card where you had to give people high fives, and for every person that high fived you, you got 2 life. So and you only had 20
I don't
seconds
remember this.
to do it. So there would be people going around the local game store being like, high five me, high five me, high five me.
That seems like some
And then
magic player stuff for sure.
yes, and then there was another card where you would have to ask someone if they like squirrels, and then they would say yes.
If they
You
like
would get a
squirrels
yeah.
or
No,
squirrel.
squirrels.
Okay, gotcha.
So if someone said yes, I like squirrels, you would get a squirrel token.
What?
So it was just wacky.
Why have I not heard about this?
Then there was another creature where if you took your head off the table, this creature would die
Your head
or
off
get
the-
exiled. So you would literally have to play with your head on the table. And there was another card called Clone Army or something like that. But
are these the unsets?
yeah, those are the unsets.
Okay,
Silver
let's
borders.
let's take a look at the shiny one. Let's see. That's probably good, right?
Oh, okay. Ursa's
Let's see.
Academy had ours. Okay, so for that one, you had to go to that website and you had to press either +1, -1, or -6, and it would tell you like a random thing that you would do.
That seems like a lot of work to play your card.
It seems like it, but man, it was a lot of fun.
These unsets, were they in a standard format or like a kind of a commander format or
no,
modern?
they were their own separate thing. Like they were separate.
So you 60 card deck.
No,
like-
there was none of that. You would play however.
so it's strictly draft.
It was strictly draft or
Gotcha.
constructed.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but it.
So do people? I haven't seen.
So
a
what
lot of
people
these.
usually do is they'll build cubes,
Okay.
and they'll build cubes around these cards, and just draft it.
Mm.
Yeah.
That seems. I don't know, man. I would need to play it. I don't. It sounds like a lot of work to get your average because I don't know. Maybe it's my play style. I like to fuck with people, and this doesn't seem like it unless I get to plan this shit ahead of time.
Yeah.
I can't do the fuckery that I like to do with people.
Oh, I mean, honestly, I think if you really got into unsets, you probably like it because
I probably would. There's a lot of chaos. I love chaos, but I need to be able to plan the chaos. You feel me?
No, I feel you. And there's a lot of bullshit in the game, like in those sets, and it's so much fun. That's honestly the most fun I've ever had with Magic.
So going back to your sponsorship with Magic. So when they sponsored you, they said, "Hey, we just want you to keep doing what you're doing, keep playing Magic. We're going to give you a full access account to
spotlight the events and
right."
do all
But
that.
did anything spill over to paper Magic? Like, did you get any free cards? Did they give you like?
Yeah, they actually do send like a bunch of like stuff and special gift sets. Like I don't get any now.
Right, but what are you supposed to do with them? Like, are you supposed to be like, just here's a box?
Yeah,
have a fucking box.
Like, so for example, like what they do now is that they send out like whenever a new set is coming out, they'll send out like a little care package. It would have like the Planeswalker decks.
Oh, so you would get like exclusive stuff. So they'd be like,
it wasn't exclusive. It was stuff that you could go out and buy at the store.
Would you get masterpieces? No masterpieces, really? No.
Unless you pull them from the packs.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah, they would send you packs.
Did you ever get any masterpieces?
Yeah, I got it.
That's fucking Magic. You rigged that shit, didn't you? You gave them fucking masterpiece boxes, you assholes.
Not always, because I remember like one of the worst box I ever got was from them.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what?
This box just had like really crappy cards in it.
So
like
not even
it was
the
like one of those
mythic rare
box. There was like 2 mythics in that box,
and they were crap.
Yeah, were crappy.
Shit.
But
I hate it when that happens. That's happened before.
But I didn't pay for it, so I was like, whatever.
You're like, yeah,
it's not bad.
So, but did they put you in any restrictions? They're like, hey man, we're gonna send you a box of Kaladesh, but you can't X.
Yeah, there's certain stuff that they would say, oh, you can't talk about it yet. Or
really? So they would give you like an embargo?
Yeah, they would give you an embargo and tell you like, okay, you can't talk about these cards.
Oh shit! So what would that be like? No Instagram posts? No, like I got a box of whatever.
They want you to post like, oh yeah, I got. Oh, thank you, Wizards for sending me like this Strixhaven.
Right.
Like with Strixhaven, they did a thing where they send out like a letter saying that you're accepted to, kind of like Harry Potter did with their.
Is that already out? By the way,
it's not out. It's coming out though.
I actually want to buy that set.
Yeah, that set looks really good.
Because I love. For those of you who don't know, I play Magic and I play Wizards, and they fucking hate me for it.
Your 1 card combo. Your commander.
We'll get into that later. But yeah, so Strixhaven. They sent out what they send you?
They send out like what's it called? They send out like a little. It's just like a little care package. So it came with a booster box. It came with like the letter saying, "Hey, you've been accepted to Strixhaven."
That's pretty fucking dope.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, they do stuff, and then it came with like scarves for all the houses.
Wait, there's
not houses, colleges.
Bruh.
Yeah, let's be real. Houses.
Come on.
Yeah.
Is there a greenhouse?
There's a Simic, so it's green blue.
Cool.
So all the houses are based off of enemy colors.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So if you don't know,
explain enemy colors.
So enemy colors are in Magic. You have 5 colors.
Right.
Red, green, blue, black, white.
Right.
And there's certain colors that get along. For example, like green and white, they get along because green just wants to grow.
They're on that spectrum. Yeah.
Yeah. Green just wants to grow. White just wants to give life, which is very kind of similar to what green.
So the colors have a lot of characteristics built into them already.
For example, green and blue would be considered enemy colors.
So if you guys look, this is the spectrum, right? So what you're saying is that the enemy colors would be like the ones across from it that don't synergize typically with that color. I wouldn't say
they don't typically synergize, but they're kind of like against like what they believe. For example, like black wants to kill and bring back, and red just wants to burn.
Right.
So it's similar to what they want to do. So they're ally colors. So red and black, Rakdos, that's what they call it. Because they want to do similar things. Now you have like red and white. Mm-hmm. Red wants to burn. White wants to give life and do that. So they're enemy colors.
Right.
And then same thing with green and blue. Blue wants to control. Green wants to just go wild. And blue doesn't let it do that. That's why they're called like, then That's why they're called enemy fetch lands, because they fetch
Gotcha.
for.
Is there gonna be a new fetch lands in this set?
Not in this set, but they're going to be in Modern Horizon too.
Okay, cool. I have another set of lands I need to buy.
Yeah.
Cool. You got me again, Magic. You got me again.
So actually, if you wanna get your lands, you wanna get them from Syndicate Rising. So the collector boosters.
Why Syndicate?
Because like
cheaper?
No, they're not cheaper. In fact, like a Syndicate Rising booster box is like $200 for like 12 booster packs.
Jesus.
But they're collector booster packs, and inside of that box, you get 2 box toppers. Those box toppers have a chance of getting the expeditions. So like the masterpiece.
So here's my question to you, right? When you want to buy boxes and shit, do you just send out an email to Magic, be like, hey, I want X box.
No.
Here's money. No?
No, you have to buy them on your own.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah. So
because we have our local card shops, right, that are kind of small, but their supply is pretty limited. Let's be real here. They're even the big ones. So there's a bigger place called Frankincense. It's in the city of Diamond Bar
City of Industry.
City of Industry. And there's places galore, plenty of vendors there. But I've noticed if you buy a box and you don't ask for the box topper, they won't give it to you.
Okay, so that was back then. Because remember like the box toppers used to come separate?
Yeah.
Or like the promo card used to come separate?
Are they in the box now?
They're inside the box.
They're in the box.
They're in the box. Yeah.
What?
If they come with a box topper, not. So like the last set they did, Keldamheim,
Yeah.
they didn't have a box topper in that set. But like I want to say Ikoria?
I want to get into Kelheim because I'm almost done watching Viking and I fucking love that show.
I honestly was not too hyped about Keldamheim.
Okay.
I'm like
I haven't seen all the cards, but they look interesting.
They do look interesting. It's just like I wasn't hyped because I didn't feel like they added that much to the
Not enough character, not
Yeah.
enough spice. Not enough
no.
flavor.
It has a lot of flavor. It's and it brought back the snow mechanic, but I don't feel like it made that big of an impact in standard for me to actually care too much about it.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
And Commander, there are a bunch of cards where I'm like.
There's
a lot of cards where I'm like, okay, that's a good commander card.
Yeah.
I will say that I think Syndicate Rising is
going
probably
to be better.
I feel like that's such an underrated set because there's so many cards in there that are so good in so many other forms, especially Commander. Because so they brought back flip lands. So these cards, they're either a land or they're a creature or they're a spell.
I did see a lot of those and I kind of want to pick up a few of them. Yeah. There's a lot of cards that I would throw in a commander deck.
So you should, because so what I like about these cards is that they're a land when you need them. They do come in. Some of them do come in tapped.
Yeah.
But you still have that land whenever you need a land.
The amazing part of that is that they include the whole flip mechanic thing on almost everything. Lands, like creatures, everything in that set, which makes a lot of things that would be trash very usable.
Yeah, because these lands, they come in. Normally you would look at them and be like, oh, that's garbage. But there's lands in there that counter spells. There's lands in there that give your creatures +1/+1 counters. And that's very important for late game. Because late game, let's say it's turn 10 and you want to change the state of the table. You don't want to get a freaking land.
No, that's true.
And this set gives you an option to
hit a spell.
I have a spell versus a land. And early game, you're like, okay, well, I need a land, so fuck it, land, bam, there. I got my land.
Gucci.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people aren't catching on to that.
Yeah, I don't know if I want a booster box or if I just want to pick out the cards that I want from it.
I would pick out the cards you want from it because right now they're pretty cheap.
Right.
Like if you notice, a lot of the card prices are really low.
So you're telling me to get a box of Syndicate? Is what you're telling me? Or just to pick out the cards?
If you're going to get a box, get a collector's booster box of Syndicate Rising. They're different packs. So these are meant for collecting. And they have you get the masterpiece. And a lot of those are the fetch lands. On average, you get about 3 fetch lands per box.
That's pretty good.
And if you look up how much some of these fetch lands are, some of these fetch lands still go for like $80.
Jesus.
So if you get like two of the, or even if you get like the lower end fetch lands, if you get 2 of them, it pretty much pays for the entire box itself.
That's true. But
And
tell me a little bit more about this new set that's going to come out. Like, do you get like a email saying like, hey, we just came out with the new set. It's going to be out in 6 months.
Yeah.
FYI.
So Wizards of the Coast does a really good job at hyping people up. Like
So,
even
because
before,
you're in a roster of Magic influencers,
yeah.
right? And when they reach out to you guys, how early is it before a set?
It's honestly not as early as you think.
Really?
It's probably like they announce it before you even know.
That's actually really surprising.
But the funny thing is, even though they're careful, but they're not, because so many stuff gets leaked out. Like so.
Yeah, that's why
early.
I always think that's like marketing. I always think, oh, it got leaked.
No, because they send like promo cards and stuff to stores early,
right?
And they get leaked out because
And
the
then,
stores
like,
will take pictures of it.
And then
I remember like when Commander Legends came out.
See, but I heard Magic is, because it's a private company, right?
Yeah.
That they're really strict when you mess up or when you talk shit, or like you get caught in a little tiny itty bitty rape scandal, nothing big.
Well,
and then they ban you for life.
Well, I mean, that's any company nowadays.
Well,
you have to be careful, but yeah.
But no, like Magic in particular, like I did see on YouTube that there's Magic influencers that are no longer allowed to play tournaments anymore because they said something negative.
Not just so.
Is that true?
So there's 2 sides to the story.
Right, right.
Yes, that is true to a sense, but some of these people, like there's
like blink if you can't talk about this.
But no, but like but like there's some Magic influencers that
they did something, right?
They did a few things, like
they weren't completely innocent.
They weren't completely. Yeah, there's. I mean,
I can kind of see that.
Did it warrant a lifetime ban? That's really not my.
But that's so strange, right? Like if you decided to, I don't know, say you didn't like a set of Pokemon, and who owns Pokemon? Konami or
it's the Pokemon company.
The
so
Pokemon
Nintendo.
company.
It used to be Wizards of the Coast.
Right. Like they can't tell you can't go play Pokemon at your local card store, but since there's like dedicated Magic stores, you can't play at those stores.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
See, that's a funny thing though, because they said they're doing away with the DCI.
Really?
Number.
So they're sort of like, so how are they gonna know if you're banned and playing at an official Magic store?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Huh. So they can't really enforce it.
Well, the whole thing is that
you just can't play like regionals and
you can't play like in conventions or stuff like that, like section events. But I mean, like your local game store wants money. They're not gonna be like,
yeah, they're small, dude. They're not popular.
Yeah, they're not gonna be
they're hanging on by a thread most of the case.
They're not gonna be like, okay, you know what? You can't play under your name, but we're gonna call you Jorge today. You're Jorge today. You're not Jeremy. You're Jorge.
Jorge with like 1 million like gold lotuses or black lotuses in his folder, who's been playing Magic for decades.
Yeah. So they're gonna be like, okay, yeah, you're gonna be somebody else today, and they're just gonna create a new DCI number and let that person play. They'll
never know until you're at regionals and you take off your mask and it wasn't actually Jorge the whole time. I understand. Like I feel you, but that I did hear about that, man. And I was like, holy shit, that must be that's something that you have to keep in mind, right? Because you get free shit. They tell you, hey, you're under an embargo. We're gonna tell you about this set. You said apparently pretty soon before release.
Yeah,
I'd assume you guys have more time to like coordinate, but I guess not.
It's like a month.
A month? It's still way too late.
Sometimes it's like two weeks. Usually it's around whenever they start spoiling them. That's when they give like. So, obviously, the bigger creators they get like they get like a schedule.
Gotcha.
When they tell them, so they might do it differently for actual bigger creators. But they tell them like, okay, this is your card. You're gonna leak it. You're gonna announce it on this day, and they give them like a set schedule on when they're gonna post it on social media.
Gotcha.
And of course, there's other channels like the Command Zone. Obviously, they need to know way ahead of time.
Right. Because they need this whole production.
Yeah, their whole production. They need to film it and they need to build their decks. So
God knows that does not take a short amount of time.
And a lot of times in like, especially like in the command zone, they want them to showcase
Right.
like the new cards.
Yeah, because everybody wants a new shiny, new mechanic or
Yeah.
whatever.
So
Right.
obviously they're gonna be like, okay, here's the full set. Work with it.
Oh shit. Okay.
I
For you in particular, do they give you like a set schedule? Or they're just like, hey, just don't release it before we do.
yeah.
That's basically it.
Yeah.
That's still pretty dope though.
And then what they do is like, let's say 3 days, a week before. No, it's gotten sure. Like 3 days before the set is released, they give you that via access to that VIP account again, and you play against other creators, and you showcase like the new set, and you get to work. So again, that account, everything's unlocked. Yeah,
That's so dope.
yeah. And you get to build whatever deck you want to build, and you stream it, and you tell people, you show people like, okay, this is what I built. It's coming out. This is what you get to do. And again, you only play against other content creators. You don't play against, because that would be unfair. Like you get an account with everything unlocked, and you don't have to grind or pay for it. Then
I'd be salty.
yeah, you'd be blowing everyone out of the water.
I'd be salty for sure.
But they do give you like $400 worth of cards or booster packs.
And let's be honest, man. There's a lot of people who play Magic because it's a budget game.
Yeah.
Not because it's Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh, you know exactly what you do. You money hungry company, you.
But see, here's the thing: is like one of the things with standards, a lot of people are fed up with the bans because they have been more frequent.
They've been getting pretty wild with making cards and then having to ban them.
Yeah, because they make really, and that's kind of where I was getting at. They do make these really powerful cards,
which is good in some. Okay, because there's two types of cards, right? There's cards that you make specifically for standard, and then there's cards that you make and accidentally make them for everything.
Yeah, and it seems like they're making more of those cards because look at the cards that have been banned. They're the cards that have been like problematic in formats before they were even banned. Like
right.
For example, Uro.
Mhm.
When they first banned that card, I was salty.
Can you explain why? What does it do? Like
so
what?
Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath. It's a 1 blue, green and blue.
Mhm.
Whenever you cast it, and whenever you cast it and enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life. You draw a card, and you get to pay an additional ramp.
So for people who don't understand, right? Usually most cards have one good mechanic.
No,
Those
this
were
has like
3, which gives you uber value.
Put it this way: most cards, there's cards out there that cost 2. And so what we mean by cost is we mean the cost to play these cards. Because imagine you have what's called mana, and you play a land. So every turn you play a land, and that gives you the resources to play your spells.
Right.
Since you could only play 1 per turn, every turn.
Like for example, this sneak guard that's on the screen right now.
Yeah.
He cost 1 red. That's all it costs to play him. If
So
you
you
have
have to
1
have
red land.
1 red land. Yes.
And then that's it. But the card next to him requires 1 red land and 3 of any color. So you can use 3 other colored lands to pay for that, and then the 1 red.
Yes.
So this card that you're talking about, how much did it cost?
It costs 3.
Cost 3. With 3 dope effects, 9 times out of 10, you will only get 1 decent, if not garbage effect.
No, but this drew you a card.
Yep.
This gave you an extra land. So you got an extra, you
Ramp.
already, you ramped
Card
up.
advantage.
Yeah. And they gave you 3 life.
Yeah, that's I can see how that can get
that's a lot.
out of hand real fast.
Yeah. And the way, and it was a 6/6. But the only thing is that whenever you cast it, if you didn't cast it from your graveyard,
Mhm.
then it would instantly go into the graveyard.
Yeah, but then once it's in the graveyard, you're just like, okay, I'm gonna cast it from the graveyard.
Well, see, the whole thing is that you didn't have to cast it from your graveyard. You had to escape it, which was a mechanic that you pretty much casting it from your graveyard,
right?
With the condition that you're exiling cards from your graveyard. So you had to remove cards from your graveyard in order to bring it back. But that's not a big deal. Just the fact that it hits the field already puts you ahead.
Yeah, so I can see why because people break the cards. It's not the card themselves that causes them to be banned.
Yeah.
It's people coming up with strategies to make the game unfair over a consistent basis.
Yeah.
So that's usually what causes a card to get banned. So
But see, like I was playing that card, and I was playing a deck that had that card, but it also had like a bunch of cards that I really liked.
Mhm.
And then it got banned, and I was like, well, whatever. I guess I can play.
welcome to standard.
Yeah. And then more bans kept happening, and I'm just like, well, you just get burned out.
Yeah, you get tired. I'm not gonna lie. That's why I stopped playing standard. But
And then, like, my biggest problem right now is that, like, well, everybody knows, like, mill was never like a really worthwhile strategy.
it's not powerful, no.
It's not powerful.
Mm-mm.
It came to the point where mill is the thing now. Like,
Really?
it's a valid strategy,
No shit.
and it's not fun to play against it. And like, I know a lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh, get good," and it's not a fact. It's not.
Get good.
It's not.
Yeah, Irvin, get good.
And it's not about being good or having the answers, because like, yeah, it's very easy to just sideboard some hate for it.
Of course.
It's very easy to
Sideboarding meta is like the staple.
That's part of the game. You have to be able to sideboard for whatever you play against.
Mhm.
But the thing that people don't realize is that when it becomes a problem, it's the fact that you have to main board something to keep that card in check.
Right, because then you're taking an L from the first game.
Yes.
Yeah. Of course.
And that's one of the things that a lot of the pros are saying, like, hey, you know what? If you're gonna play, then you have to main board and answer for it, because it's everywhere. And I'm not
Mm.
saying that Oral was everywhere, or
He's
I
in
mean,
enough decks that you would need to main
he was
something,
making
yeah.
a splash in like other formats too.
Right.
But like, and I'm talking specifically in standard, is that it became like that. So people started getting burned down, and a lot of people started playing less and less and less. And
That is a thing though, right? Like if
Yeah.
you make a card too powerful, right? It warps the game in a certain way because I'm assuming that's a good card. It costs money to get. A lot of people can't afford it.
Yes.
So-
And then the people who do,
Break the game.
They
of
pay
course.
like $60-$80 for a card, right?
Yeah, a
It
piece.
does not feel good whenever you just spend like $400 for a playset.
Yeah,
right?
that fucking blows.
And then, or let's just say like you spent a good chunk of money for a playset of this card because you want to play it. And then it gets banned, and you're like, oh, well, I'm just out of money then.
Yeah, and then that card drops in value instantly. It's like the worst stock move you can make.
Mhm.
It'll go from like a $60 card to like 25 cents, $1
Yeah,
at best. Yeah, and then maybe if it's still really good, it'll keep some value, splash at 10, maybe
Yeah.
20. But you can't really predict that, especially because wait, actually, let me ask you this. Does Magic give you a heads up on a ban list?
No.
Not at all.
Not at
Not even a little bit. Not so
No.
you but
The-
that
the-
would help you guys out so much. That way you can dump the cards that are going to be useless to you guys.
But at the same time, how would that be fair to everybody else?
It wouldn't be fair, but they're trying to keep you guys as influence. Scratch my back, I'll scratch your back kind of a deal, no? No.
Yes, but I mean, it would not. I honestly, I would not agree with.
No?
No, just because like it would create a lot of hostility, and it would create a lot of like issues with the rest of the community. Like the rest of the community would feel like shit.
Yeah, it is a shitty move, but
And
that would
not-
help
not
out the
only that.
influencers for sure.
Who's to say the influencers aren't going to be like, hey, this card's going to get banned? Fucking sell it before it gets banned.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure they would.
And there's already like insider trading going inside of Magic. They just don't talk about
What?
it. But
Tell me about it. I want to know all the tea. What? Tell me, Irvin.
so, I mean,
What?
Again, this
tell
is
me the
all-
news because I'm pretty
this-
sure this is
this is
public
all-
information, right?
this is all speculation.
Oh, speculation. Yes,
Yeah.
of course. This is all speculation.
So, so a bunch of like a lot of people. There's a new format announced called Pioneer,
Okay.
and it supposedly came out of left hand, but there was a lot of people like on TCG Player
Right.
and a bunch of these other sites
Uh-huh.
buying these older cards that had no value, and they were buying them in like hundreds.
So, just so happened to be in
And
the way that format
Yeah,
is
they were
going to be
just-
going.
they just happened to buy a bunch of really high end staples that were really cheap because they weren't being played, because these were all standard staples. at the
Oh
time.
shit.
Then they announced that there's a new format
Okay.
that brings back
all these staples. That's fucking hilarious.
Yes. So how did these people know that all these cards were gonna be needed? You know.
So they just basically came up on a whole bunch of like Black Lotuses before they were Black Lotuses.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that because like these cards, realistically, they go.
How egregious was the value increase on those cards?
It was like I would say like between 50 to 100%.
That's amazing. That's not nothing.
If you're looking at like from a stock perspective, yes, that is freaking incredible. Like
well, if you paid what $5 for the card and
it's worth $10 now,
and you bought 100 of them,
and it's worth $10, you just pretty much like
you bought 100 of them.
Yeah, you pretty much more than doubled your money.
What?
You doubled your money on every card.
And of course, they didn't just buy one of
they bought like 100. They bought hundreds.
That's criminal.
It is, but
and Magic has not released a statement, haven't said anything.
Well, they can't. They don't acknowledge the second market because technically, their job is not the second market. Their job is printing the cards and putting them up there. Now, am I saying that there's no influence because of the second market? Honestly, I can't say for sure. Am I saying that they do tend to reprint a lot of high value cards?
That's an epic fail on Magic's part for not acknowledging the second market. Come on, guys. Come on, that's a fucking joke. How are you not gonna? That's basically half the backbone of Magic. You know,
you have to acknowledge. There has to be a second market for any card game to be successful.
That's
some
Wolf of Wall Street shit going on at Magic the Gathering. What is going on? That's amazing.
The thing is that their priority is not the second market.
It's new. It's new stuff, new products.
Yeah.
I understand that because they can't get any new revenue from cards that are 10 years old.
Yeah, not just that, they can't get any revenue from freaking cards that this Johnny C card owner opened.
Right.
Yeah, so they don't care about that. They care about like pushing new product because that's 100% where they get their money from.
But these people who did these moves, like, are they employees of Magic or are they Magic influencers like you?
No, nobody knows. Nobody knows.
But suddenly all of the stock just disappeared.
There's proof that there's people that, and again, there's like people like on Reddit that have gone on and shown like proof that these people have bought this many cards.
What?
Because before, like a month before. But here's the thing is, again, I say it's speculation because how do we know for sure that these people knew that they were going to be back? You know, what if these people were just like restocking? Again, I don't know. But it's very suspicious. 100% suspicious.
Look, bro, I'll put it to you like this. Right. What is it? The FCC is in charge of stocks, right?
Yeah.
Or I'm probably thinking of a different organization, but maybe the FCC, right? Someone buys $5.6 million worth of GameStop before the stock exploded, right? No one says anything.
Yeah.
GameStop blows up. All of a sudden, the government wants to know, why the fuck did you buy $5.6 million
worth that stock? Yes, that's insider trading.
Right? Now, that's the exact same thing. Why do they not care?
Because it's a card game. At the end of the day, these are just pieces of cardboard, and no one sees them as like a series.
I guess, bro. There's some Wolf of Wall Street shit going on behind Magic,
but that could be said about anything.
That's true.
Okay, let's look.
There's inside shit on everything.
Let's look back.
This is true.
My biggest win, Smothering Tide.
Yes. Okay.
You remember how much I kept telling you guys, buy this fucking card.
I do remember that. Yes.
It's gonna be a Commander staple.
Uh-huh.
At the time I was telling you guys, this card was $1.26.
I do remember this, yes.
I went out and I literally bought as many as I could find.
But in my defense, I don't go to Magic stores every Saturday.
No, I know. Still bought it online.
I told you to get me one. I asked you, I'm like, get me one, Irvin. If they're $1, get me one. You're like, sure. And then what happened? You never got me one. You're keeping them all for yourself.
Well, because I ended up putting it on my white decks. How sick are you guys tired of seeing that card?
I'm not actually. I'm probably gonna put one in my zombie deck to be.
You should. It's a freaking amazing card. But okay, that card went from $1.26. Look at the price right now.
Irvin making money. This is exactly what you sounded like when that card went from $1 to 30.
And the funny thing is, like, I didn't sell any of them. I still have every single copy that I bought. I still have them. They're all in my decks.
You hoarding bastard.
Well, because it's such a good card. And like, how many decks do I play? Every single, if it plays white,
Okay,
it's an auto
for
include.
those who don't understand how serious his Magic addiction is, there behind him are 2 boxes. No, how many boxes are behind you right now? Like,
Okay, so if anyone's ever played Cards Against Humanity, there's the bigger, blacker box completely full of Magic cards. And then there's another box that holds
Right.
about 900 cards completely full. And there's about, I want to say 8 binders
Jesus.
completely full. And those are just rares.
You have a problem, sir. You have an issue. You have
Yeah.
some type of an addiction. It's
But-
okay though.
But that's the thing, like, who's to say, like, okay, this guy knew that this card was going to be worth $30.
I don't know, bro. You're an influencer and you just told me there's insider trading inside of the Magic community. So I don't know how much I believe you.
I mean, if I was selling it,
That's true though. That is true.
Yeah.
You're just
No, I
kind of
just-
keeping them. That's
I
kind
just
of
saw that.
That's a
I
weird
just saw
move.
that card, and I had a feeling because I saw everything it did, and I saw, like, one of the issues White has is ramp, period.
Right.
And if you don't, for those of you who don't know, ramp is pretty much the way you would get like extra mana.
It's acceleration.
Yeah,
it's basically
acceleration. White and red are the 2 colors that have an issue with that. This card fixes that because it gives you extra mana.
Yeah. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
It's so stupid, but it's good. I'm
It's
probably
good.
going to use it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably
Yeah.
going to buy one. I get an extra $30. But so going back to Magic, bro, what is your main goal with Magic and the company? Like, what are you trying to do? Like, are you trying to
Honestly-
be like what's that super popular gamer guy? Probably going to get killed for this, not knowing this guy. What's his name?
There's a few.
Ninja?
That's
Are you trying to be the ninja of Magic?
Not necessarily. Like, I wish I had time to, like, just sit there and play games all day. And I'm not trying to bash anyone that does. I mean,
Right. It's a legitimate job
yeah,
now.
it's a legitimate job. Like, if you're able to cater the audience and stream all day and earn a living from it, then good job. That shit is hard to do.
Yeah.
And
It's expensive.
and you can't take it away from anyone.
No.
And I hate how like, people will be like, oh well.
So
This-
what's the highest pinnacle of Magic
I-
affiliation you can get? Because okay, for gaming, it's Ninja. Is he like really good or is he just popular?
I've never seen ninjas.
Okay. I
I'm
know of
assuming
Ninja.
I mean,
I'm assuming
he has
he's good
to be
too.
good if
Yeah.
you know
I'm assuming.
Microsoft was willing to.
Holy shit, Microsoft sponsored him?
Microsoft took him away from Twitch and put him on Mixer.
Get the fuck out of here for real?
They paid millions of dollars to have this kid on Mixer.
I'm gonna look this up. Ninja
Mixer isn't even around anymore.
sponsor?
Yeah, like Mixer's not even around anymore. Think about that. Like, they paid millions of dollars for a platform that they weren't even gonna support.
Well, Microsoft did be throwing money around like that, huh?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh my God. For example, Business Insider says that Red Bull is what? Installed equipment valued about $20,000.
in his home.
Holy fuck,
Yeah.
bro. That's the hella sponsor money, bro.
Yeah.
That's so like, is there a thing equivalent to Ninja in the Magic world?
That I'm not too sure because no one talks about it.
How do you not talk about it? There needs to be the guy, right? Do you
Yeah.
like, is there the guy for Magic?
Not really. Not really. And I'd say because, like, Magic hasn't established itself in that kind of presence.
Like, it's not that mainstream.
It's-
Because I'm going to be
it's-
honest with you, like, probably, I want to say a solid, everybody probably stopped listening as soon as we start talking about Magic.
You
They're
might-
like, what are these
you might
fucking
even
nerds
wanna,
talking
you
about?
might even want to, like, cut
Cut
this into 2 parts and be like, okay, this one's all about Magic. So if you
Yeah,
don't, you don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Fast forward.
So for the people who don't know, like if they get established, right? Like back then, back in the day, to be the it guy at a card game, you needed to be the champion winner, right? Like the winner of nationals, regionals, and then whatever beyond. Then you're the guy.
Yeah.
You're the face of Magic. They'll put you on posters. They'll possibly make art about you and then make you a card.
They don't do that as much anymore.
No.
Like, for example, like in the 1996 world champion,
Right.
he got his own card.
I do remember this, yes.
And they even destroyed the printing plates for this card. So there only one card exists.
What the hell?
And I mean, the dude that won that championship sold it. Because like, unfortunately, they're not in a spot where, I mean, people love the game. Don't get me wrong.
Right. So
I love the game, but it's not in a point where it's like,
it's not a career move.
Yeah, it's not really a career move.
So the
Like-
money's more in talk about Magic, show people Magic, have them play Magic, and then you get sponsorships through YouTube, through Twitch, through other organizations that also help streamers and gamers.
Yeah.
And then from there, is that what you're trying to do? Get some sponsorships going, you know?
Yeah,
through
that
your
would be
story?
great. Like, honestly, right now, I'm just trying to more than anything right now, I'm just trying to rebuild my community.
So what if people want to find you, right? Like where can they find you?
So, on Twitter, it's real no nickname,
Okay.
and that's real NONIK name. And that's pretty much everywhere. Like on Instagram, it's the same thing.
Okay.
On
And if they want to see your stream, they have only on Twitch.
Only on Twitch. I
Under-
used to. So here's one of my things, and this is what I'm gonna say about streaming, and this is what I'm gonna tell everyone. If it has to do with the consistency, consistency,
consistency?
and picking your platform, because there was a lot of platforms,
Right.
and I decided to stream to all of them
And see which one
and
stuck.
see which one stuck.
Right.
Worst move I've made.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Because those people are not going to be not willing to follow you to other platforms. So put it this way, like, okay, it's if you stream, you know how hard it is to hold attention. You know how hard it is to get like just 4 people in your views.
Mhm.
And I used to whenever I streamed to all my platforms, I used to average about 46 views
Okay.
across all platforms.
That's not horrible.
No, that's actually really freaking great.
Right.
As soon as I became a Twitch affiliate and I had to stream only to Twitch,
Your views went up.
no,
They
my
dropped.
they dropped so hard,
Oh shit.
and I was getting 3 people.
Oh shit. Wait, so what you're saying is pick only one?
Pick only one platform and build your community there.
Okay. But you just told me if I pick only one, my views are going to drop to 3.
Because I build communities everywhere.
So you start from scratch.
You start from
Pick only
scratch,
one.
Pick only one. Do not take the route I did, because again, like I built communities on DLive. I built communities on Mixer. I built communities on Facebook Gaming. I built communities on YouTube, and all these went away the second I went exclusive to Twitch. Not one single person followed.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So the only pick one, because the moment one goes away, you are losing your followers.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Because you can't fault people for not wanting to follow you on Twitch.
Right.
Because
I have some of my really close friends like you. I don't follow. I'm sorry, but
that's
I'm
fine.
not. I'm not on Twitch.
Exactly.
I have a Twitch. I'm never on it.
Exactly, and that's fine. It's because you're focusing on watching YouTube or watching other stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm busy. I work.
Your time is valuable.
Yes.
And I'm not gonna force anyone and be like, no.
I commend anybody who is streaming who makes time to do the shit that they need to do. But me, I'm content creating also, so I can't afford to give my time.
And you work full time. It's difficult.
I do.
And I work 2 jobs.
I understand. That is a mission. And you stream for hours.
Yes, it's a commitment. So not only do I stream, I work 2 jobs, and I'm gonna be going back to school in April.
Yeah, you did tell me about that actually. But let me know all your social media. We're gonna wrap this up. Where can people find you on Facebook, Well, tell me all of them. Tell me all of them.
So
One by one.
So all of them, and I made it simple. Everything's real, no nickname.
All right, spell it out for me.
So real, no, and then the only difference one that's spelled different is N-I-K. So without the C.
Gotcha. All right. So if they want to watch you on Twitch,
It's Someone Pick a Healer.
Someone Pick a Healer, look for no nickname. All right, Irvin. Well, I'm going to wrap this up. We're going to call it a day. This has been episode number 1. All right, guys. This has been Asylum Radio. So you guys have a great night and try your best to be not normal, because at the end of the day, it's what makes you unique.
All right, well, good night, everyone.
All right, guys. Have a good night.